I am Dr. Switi Vyas, Associate Professor in Department of Practice of Medicine in Shri Homeopathic Medical College, Godhra. And my co-host, Dr. Ansari sir.
Good morning to all of you. रोई जमीन और रोया गगन, रोई जमीन और रोया गगन, पत्थर भी रो दिया होगा, पत्थर भी रो दिया होगा। ए डॉक्टर सैमुअल हानेमैन सर, आपकी याद में पूरा जहां रो दिया होगा। दोस्तों, टुडे we are celebrating the 179th death anniversary of Dr. Master Hahnemann sir through Shri Govind Guru University, Godhra, under the Faculty of Homeopathy. I am Dr. Ansari from Shri Shamlaji Homeopathic Medical College, Godhra.
I welcome to our respected dignitaries, Professor Pratap C. Chauhan sir, Vice Chancellor of Shri Govind Guru University, Dr. Anil Solanki sir, Registrar, Shri Govind Guru University, Dr. Hitesh Purohit, Coordinator, Homeopathic and EC Member, Shri Govind Guru University, and Dr. Bipin Jain sir, Principal Dr. M.L. Dhawle, Postgraduate Institute, Mumbai, who are present over here from my bottom of heart on the occasion of this one-day seminar on 179th death anniversary of respected founder of homeopathy, our sir, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann sir.
Now, I am requesting the principal of Pioneer Homeopathic Medical College, Dr. Alpesh Shah sir, to escort our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Pratap Singh Chauhan sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now I am requesting Dr. Rahul Gangapure sir, Principal, Shri Mahalakshmi Mahila Homeopathic Medical College, to escort Registrar sir, Dr. Anil Solanki sir, on the stage.
I am requesting Dr. Gupta sir, Shri Shamlaji Homeopathic Medical College Principal sir, to escort Dr. Bipin Jain sir.
Thank you, sir. Now my request to the Principal of Gujarat Homeopathic Medical College, Savli, Dr. Tejas Seth sir, to escort Dr. Hitesh Purohit sir. Now I am requesting Dr. Mukesh Dave sir to escort Upendra Rathwa sir.
As per our Indian tradition, everything or event should be start with the prayer. So I invite Dr. Keur sir, Dr. Pranali madam, Dr. Meeta madam, and also myself for prayer.
केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् तं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं,
कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं,
तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं,
तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
रामनारायणं
कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं,
कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं,
तेरे सबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं,
तेरे शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं,
कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं,
माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं, माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं,
कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं,
गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं,
गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
रामनारायणं
जानकीवल्लभम्। Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Keyur sir, Dr. Pranali madam, and Dr. Meeta madam, and Dr. Sweetie Vyas madam. Now it's time to enlight the lamp and garlanding Saraswati Mataji and Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. So I am requesting the dignitaries who are present over here, as well as Dr. Vishal Bhai Soni sir and Dr. Vijay sir, please come and to enlight the lamp and to garland Saraswati Mataji and Dr. Samuel Hahnemann sir.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापं सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
Thank you very much for garlanding and lamp lighting. चमन से कह दो कि बहारों का एहतमाम करे, चमन से कह दो कि बहारों का एहतमाम करे, हर एक फूल की खुशबू तुम्हारे नाम करे, हर एक फूल की खुशबू तुम्हारे नाम करे, फलक से उतर कर सितारा तुम्हें सलाम करे, हर एक लम्हा मोहब्बत का इंतजाम करे, चमन से कह दो कि बहारों का एहतमाम करे। दोस्तों, शायरी सुनने का ये उसूल है, समझ में आए या ना आए जोरदार तालियां तो होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि ये 4 शेर मैं हमारे डिग्निटरीज के लिए पढ़ा था। अब सब मेडिकल लाइन के हैं, कुछ लोग ऐसे होंगे जो शायरी से रगबत रखते होंगे दोस्तों, मुझको मिलाकर। तो यहाँ पर मैं बुलाना चाहूंगा प्रोफेसर इन डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस ऑफ मेडिसिन फ्रॉम जय जलाराम होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल कॉलेज रैना मोरवा, Dr. Bhaskar Mehta sir. Please come here to say the welcome speech of honorable dignitaries.
Vande Mataram. Jai Hahnemann, Jai Homeopathy. On this glorious morning of 2nd July 2022, we all are over here to pay tributes to our master with theme of reverence to Dr. Hahnemann. I, Dr. Bhaskar Mehta, Professor J. Jalaram Homeopathic Medical College, would like to welcome with fluent words and namaste to energetic, dynamic, result-oriented task achiever, inspirer, no one else but our beloved and respected Vice Chancellor Sir, Dr. Professor Pratap Singh Chauhan Sir. Now, the backbone of university and who always caring for upgrading the standard of education in all colleges affiliated to Shri Govind Guru University, Godhra. Today's speaker and our beloved and respected Registrar Sir, Dr. Anil Solanki Sir. Now, today's second speaker, respected Principal M.L. Davle, Postgraduate Institute, Mumbai, Dr. Jain Sir, who is our guest also. My colleague, my guide, my friend, EC member, and one more feather, the member of NCH, Principal, Dr. Hitesh Purohit Sir. Respected EC member, Upendra Rathod Sir. Respected management, Shri Samraji Arogya Seva Trust, Dr. Vishal Soni Sahib. Management and Principal, Jai Jalaram Homeopathic Medical College, Morwa Rena, Dr. Vijay Patel Sir. Respected management of all homeopathic colleges affiliated to Shri Govind Guru University, Godhra. Respected principals of all homeopathic medical college affiliated to Shri Govind Guru University, Godhra. Respected colleagues, yes, my colleagues, beloved colleagues of all homeopathic medical colleges affiliated to Shri Govind Guru University, Godhra. Beloved students who are present over here to serve the occasion. So I welcome my beloved students also. I also welcome respected print and electronic media team. I welcome a respected team SGGU who constantly supporting us in our development. Thank you very much for dignifying and giving me this opportunity to welcome the dignitaries on this auspicious occasion. Once again, thank you very much. Vande Mataram, Jai Hahnemann, Jai Homeopathy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Again, I feel proud to declare that the name of the personality. And first of all, I want to say something for him. His life is dedicated always in the homeopathy field, as well as his family also dedicated their life in the homeopathy. And that is good thing in today's era. And that personality is none other than Shri Shamraji Homeopathic Medical College, Dr. Vishal Bhai Soni sir, and he is the son of Dr. Rajesh Bhai Soni sir. And again, I feel very proud to say that once upon a time in Godhra, in Shri Shamlaji Homeopathic Medical College, he was my classmate. And now, he is a principal of Jai Jalaram Homeopathic Medical College, Raina Morwa, Dr. Vijay Patel sir. I am requesting to both of you to honor our respected VC sir, Professor Pratap C. Chauhan sir, by offering Sutar ki Aati, Khadi Rumal and book.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vishal Bhai Soni sir and Dr. Vijay Patel sir. Now I am requesting the principal of Shri Shamlaji Homeopathic Medical College, Dr. A.K. Gupta sir, to honor Dr. Anil Solanki sir, that is Registrar of Shri Govind Guru University.
Again, I am requesting VC sir, Professor Pratap C. Chauhan sir, to felicitate Dr. Bipin Jain sir. Today's speaker of our session, Dr. Bipin Jain sir. Thank you very much. Now I am inviting to Dr. Mihir Parikh sir, MKS College, Karjan, Professor and HOD in Department of Organ of Medicine, to share their views on the importance of Reverence Day.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Honorary Vice Chancellor Shri Pratap Singh Chauhan ji, Registrar Sir, Dr. Bipin Jain, Dr. Hitesh Purohit, Dr. Vishal Soni, Vijay Bhai, and Mr. Rathod sir. And of course, my friend and my colleague, Dr. Alpesh Shah. I have been given the responsibility today to share the importance of this day, reverence to Dr. Hahnemann. Why do we require this day? If you see, the topic is The theme is Revering Hahnemann, reaffirming our faith. And when we say reaffirming, it means that we do have tendency to forget number of things, what our master have done. And therefore, I think number of celebrations are there in our country. It may be Independence Day, it may be Republic Day, it may be Diwali or Eid. It reaffirms our faith through that festival, through that spirit. And when we say reaffirming, number of times it has been seen that somebody else from the outside says something about our pathy or our master. Our confidence in our pathy and in our science increases double-fold. So actually speaking, what do we mean by reverence? It's a deep respect, profound add-on for someone. I know that today all are teachers here, so we are not going to the autobiography of Dr. Hahnemann. Everyone knows that. But there are salient features of Dr. Hahnemann which we need to remember and we need to learn from that. And that should be the objective of today's celebration. And that is why I have put the father of modern medicine, Dr. William Osler. He said that if there had been no Hahnemann, the medical world would have been much poorer. Who is saying this? Father of modern medicine. And he also said, no individual has done more good to the medical profession than Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. I don't know how many of us are in real sense are proud of what Dr. Hahnemann has done. And you can see why William Osler was so much impressed by Dr. Hahnemann's work, because their philosophy did match. In homeopathy, we say that we treat individual and not the disease. And that is what Dr. William Osler also said. The good physician treats the disease. The great physician treats the patient who has the disease. And I think this is what we need to remember. And that is what the similarity of the two great physicians, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann and Dr. William Osler. Now, as I said, there are a few peculiarities of Dr. Hahnemann. Number of things which we are knowing. But this is something which will really interest us. One of his peculiarity was that he could do with very little sleep. Indeed, it is recorded of him that for 40 years, his custom was to sit up one night in 4. Means he was sleeping, he was keeping awake one night every 4 days for study. And that was the spirit and the enthusiasm with which he has contributed to the medical science. He was a prodigious worker, and in the course of his long life, he published 116 large publications and 120 pamphlets. And he has been always filling the gaps in his education. And today's, when the university has taken this initiative of gathering faculty of homeopathy, and that is, of course, the agenda is for better education in homeopathic medical colleges. And therefore, we should again go back to our books, again go back to our master's work, so that our faith is again reaffirmed. important thing, we all know that he was a very good chemist. And he also said, Hahnemann also said, that if a physician knows chemistry, he can be a very good physician. So he was not only a chemist, but a good musician and an astronomer. He was versed in every branch of knowledge connected with medicine. He was above all a born physician and reformer. And one must admire his enormous courage of strong conviction with which, if he did not procure sudden universal recognition for his system of medicine. When we say reformer, it means that he stood against the system. I will go one step further. There was no system existing at that time in medical science. He formed one system, and based on natural law of cure. And that is where his enormous strength is, and conviction in whatever he is doing. Number of times we are not able to do things even though we are convinced about it, because we are not able to stood against the crowd who is saying something else. And that conviction we should have, and therefore the evidence-based homeopathy nowadays is in demand. We in our individual practice are doing many cures, but none is coming in publication. None in coming in a proper way, so that the modern world or the people who wants evidence that homeopathy can do this is lacking to a great length. And we need to improve upon that. And I think this is a day where we can all work together for making it science, not an alternative medicine, but science of this millennium. One of his important aspect, which we said, which we studied in our organon, about the mental diseases, when none were able to understand the mental diseases in that era before 225 years. He was the person to state this, that my sense of duty would not allow me to treat the unknown pathological state of my suffering brethren with these unknown medicines. I think we all have experienced COVID, 2 years of COVID, and we all know what modern medicine has done with COVID. To start with SGGU, remdesivir, plasma therapy. Number of experiments has been done on suffering humanity, and number of people are still suffering because of many side effects of number of therapeutics, so-called therapeutics, which was going on. Steroids. And people have COVID to gayu, but a number of complications has been added into that. So, our learning, our objective of getting together when the university has taken this initiative, we should have our conviction in our pathy. We should not forget our objectives of why we are teacher in a homeopathic medical college, and that conviction should pass to the new generation, so that the homeopathy does not remain at the level of alternative medicine, but it becomes the mainstream of the medicine. And this objective, if we are able to achieve, I think our work is done, and we have in real sense given the tribute to our master, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. And therefore, he has said this in his first edition of Organon: the truth we mortal need, us blessed to make and keep, the all-wise slightly covered over, but did not bury deep. So we should not forget that if we do little more effort, the truth will come in front of us. We'll be able to achieve what we are doing since years in our education system. And one of the poet and the philosopher, Henry Thoreau, has said this: pursue some path, however narrow and crooked. Number of homeopaths today, we see that they do not have faith in homeopathy. And therefore this statement I have put here. Pursue some path, however narrow and crooked, in which you can walk with love and reverence. Because today's time, what we have, we don't give importance to that. What we don't have, we are after that. So if we give importance to what we have in our hand, and that is homeopathy and homeopathic science and the principle of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, if we are able to keep this with us, our reverence to Hahnemann will be in real sense the tribute to Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Mihir Parikh, sir. He is also a campus director in M.K. Sanghvi Homeopathic Medical College, Curzon. Now, it's time to listen Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. तो आपके लिए एक 4 लाइनें कहूँगा, सर. झूम झूम हर कली, झूम झूम हर कली, बार बार कह चली, आप जो पधारे तो महक उठी गली गली, आपसे बरस रही है सब पर मेहरबानियां, मीठे बोल बोलते हैं आप जैसे मिस्री की डली, आप जो पधारे हैं तो महक उठी गली गली. तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं बुलाना चाहूंगा ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर श्री गोविंद गुरु यूनिवर्सिटी प्रोफेसर प्रताप सिंह चौहान, सर.
The one-day seminar organized by the Faculty of Homeopathy. Our today's speaker, Bipin Jain Saab, coordinator of the seminar, our EC member, principal, Dr. Hitesh Purohit ji, Registrar of the University, Dr. Anil Solanki Saab, my colleague, EC member, Shri Upendra Rathwaji, to the management people organize and manage a homeopathy college, Dr. Vishal Soni and Dr. Vijay Bhai Patel, all very senior faculty in homeopathy, Dr. J.J. Patel Saab, Dr. Bhaskar Bhai Mehta, Mihir Bhai Parikh, Mukesh Bhai Dave, Dr. Chakravarti ji, Dr. Ami, Dr. Anand, Principal Alpesh Shah sir, Rahul ji, Dr. Vijay, and Dr. Gupta from our own Gudra Homeopathy College. Dear friend, today we are organizing the day. It's a very, very important day for the homeopathy faculty and teacher and education is concerned. Dr. Jain will deliver the talk on the how medical education concerned to the homeopathy faculty, what is the training and development is needed considering the National Education Policy 2020, what are the remarkable changes required for homeopathy a faculty. And that's why the one person is a very famous in the 1755 to onward, the 1843, and today is the 2nd July. And he is a basically physician. The Mahir sir has already explained about what is the reality. We are not aware about the some features concerned to the Samuel Hahnemann. He is a master. And master is always master to know everything, develop the new theory. We can say that somebody is a master. We ask to the many students, what are you doing? And they say, I am doing my masters. It means something is very different. And that's why Samuel Hahnemann has created the new theory. And I come across some literature in the last 2 days. What is a basic? Who is the Hahnemann? How he has come to the homeopathy, the theory, the new alternative medicine he created. And the idea behind the particular faculty is unknown. The medicine you provide to your patients, and I do not know about what is the impact. That is the idea behind the new alternative medicine created by the Samuel Hahnemann. The story, you can go through the story. He studied somewhere, 10 months somewhere, completed the bachelor and masters, moving from one place to another place. And he has many, kids. At the time you see in the era of before 200 years. And he created a new therapy that is not harmful to any human being. And that's why in the COVID, we observed that everybody is trying to do a trial and error method. Trial and error method means we are not aware about anything, but then also we try to treat a symptom-based, the medical treatment. And we observe the modern medical science is not up to the mark. We are not talking about the India. India is 136 crore people are there to manage any pandemic. It is very difficult to any country. But Europe and America, the western part of the world, the highly professionals, the scientific method they use, but they have not managed well in the first and second layer of the COVID-19 pandemics. The dead body in the queue, but it is not happen in the India except the second, the layer is happen. It is due to our Ayurveda, our homeopathy. The practitioner has consulted almost all patients in there at home, and they give, the guarantee. You do it, there is no any issue. Because it is not harmful to this side effect to any human being. Many people, the physicians, they use steroid and all, the very harmful medicine, treatment. And what was the impact? We know about after the second layer. My dear friend, you are in a very noble profession. You concern to the many people in our country. The grassroots level, you observe the Ayurveda and homeopathy. They are the two alternative medicine. They used to reach in the end user of the society. Today, university is a very young university. Bipin bhai, this is the university, is not an old one university. We are completed a 6th year. We entering in the 7th year. It started in 2016. Established in 2015, but actually it started in the 2016. And 16 to 2022, now we started the 7th a batch of our undergraduate and master's program. Dear friend, this university is a very different university because of the chief minister at the time, Srimati Anandiben Patel, has created this university as a new model of the state university in the Gujarat. And that's why the board of governance to the top authority, mostly in this two university, the Govind Guru University Godhra and Bhakt Kavi Narsimha Mehta University Junagadh, the all drawbacks, so whatever in the state university suffering in the Gujarat, it is not coming to this university. She care about the all, the hurdles what the university is facing in the state university. That's why all appointment is done by the state government or a vice chancellor. State government is also appointed a very few. Out of 16, 17 syndicate member, only 4 syndicate member from the government. Otherwise, everything appointment by a vice chancellor. And that's why whatever we decide in our university, it is the only university we give all results within the 15 days. Somewhere exceptional cases are there where we are reached to 17, 18 days. But on an average, our result date is less than 15 days. It is happening. We are very shortage of staff. The limiting factor is the manpower. Only government has sanctioned the 7 a full-time a non-teaching staff and not a single a teaching staff. Then also we started the 6th department the last year and 2 department before today. We started the department of microbiology and the department of history. Now we are in the 8th department within the 6th year. And we have a 2,000 a PG student in the university campus. I'm talking about the only university campus. The PG department is already started. Otherwise, we have a lot of PG centers, arts, commerce, and science. And our total student is now reached to 1,50,000. And we reached to colleges, 225 colleges, uplifted to 5 districts of the middle part of the Gujarat. So these are the very unique way we started. Now we need to, now our kids means the university is little bit matured. Now our kid is understanding what is right and what is wrong things. As an authority, as a university vice chancellor, our syndicate member has to be very careful, cultured to our value-based university system. Otherwise, the kids in the 6-7 year, they can move anywhere. So it's not a very easy task. Now task is very crucial. Where kid is to move, what culture we have to develop, what value system we have to develop in the university, that we have to very carefully and very, very passionately we have to work in the university system where the value system is based on some pillar. And pillar is the ethics, the value system, not biased to anybody. And that's why here also we invited 2 management people in the dais, Dr. Vishal Soni and Vijay Patel. Why? Because we are all family. It is the one family. In case somebody is, doing excellent job, but doesn't mean we have to care and concern to all. And all means all Indians. All Indians, my brother and sister. What we are telling to our commitment. That commitment we have to reflect in our action. Not only in the words, always we speaking. The leaders are always speaking. Any task, anything is come, please come with me. But the university is different. Whatever we, the telling to our faculty, our teachers, our management, our syndicate member, we rely. And reliability is the culture of the university. And that's why today we organize. It is basically a task of any college. We don't have any PG department or undergraduate department in the university campus. Only these are the affiliated colleges. But what the Dr. Purohit is suggested, you do it the particular day. The day is a very, very important day for the homeopathy faculty. the homeopathy teacher. And that's why we have given the compulsion to all colleges to come in the one-day seminar. Because the very senior people, I have given the name as 6, 7 names. But many people are the very experienced people. They are doing the excellent job. So we express the knowledge. Knowledge is exchange process. For example, whatever, I am not a doctor. I am a layman for the homeopathy faculty. I am searching and getting the data. How homeopathy, the medicine is prepared. What is your clinical knowledge? How you judge the patient. These are we are asking you all questions. Because the two medicine, the modern science, homeopathy and Ayurveda, still today I am not using, if it is not needed, any modern science medicine. Only I use the homeopathy and the Ayurveda. Mostly 80% Ayurveda when and where required in the homeopathy. I always, our Dr. Vijay and Dr. Hitesh Purohit is always, anything is happen, little bit, we ask to our doctors, please send me the 1 dabbi, 2 dabbi. It's very easy. And your confidence, your faith in the medicine, it's also play a very vital role for the recovery of the patients. So whenever you come across to your patient, talk very patiently, listen very carefully. You are in the hurry, but the patient is concerned to the disease. That's why you have to carefully behave with your patients. It is a training and development required in the homeopathy faculty. And that's why the modern science people, the allopathy people say they do not know anything about the medical science. You have to argue. Don't only argue. No, don't create any savwad. Only you have to do the practice in the field. Field automatically the people will tell, yes, homeopathy is doing an excellent job in the field, and that's why it is needed. Many people, many area in Rajasthan and that particular area, today the old people only rely on the homeopathy faculty and homeopathy, the medicines. My dear friend, you have given me the opportunity to express my feeling. So I welcome on behalf of my university authority, can you people discuss here today the full session, create some, the landmark, and that will be very useful to homeopathy faculty, teacher, because many teachers are very young teacher. They have experience for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. But now they have to do the clinical research, and that's why we have started a PhD program in the homeopathy faculty. It is the only, the university in this area, and we are the second university in the Gujarat. We are doing the research in the homeopathy. Now this year, we are going to start in the medical science, nursing, paramedical science, and we have today at 28 a PhD scholar, and that's why this program we have live on the YouTube. That's why our people, our research scholars, some research scholars sitting here in the 10, 15, but remaining the people are not here. So my humble request to the all research scholar, you can go through whenever you get the time, because everybody is busy. But whenever you get the time, and anything is very important, that you have to acquire knowledge from these conferences. So once again, I welcome to all of you here in the Faculty of Homeopathy, my teacher, my young teacher, very dynamic teacher, and all, the people, the pillar of the homeopathy faculty sitting in the dais. They have to perform, little bit care about the faculty, not only the personal interest, but the welfare of the society, upliftment of the society, what we can do it, that you have to care and concern about the faculty. Once again, thank you very much. Bharat Mata ki Jai, Vande Mataram.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for your nice and excellent guidance and speech. Just now, Dr. Mahida sir has joined here. So now I am requesting our Associate Professor of Shri Shamlaji Homeopathic Medical College in Department of Organon, Dr. Hiren Darji sir, to felicitate Dr. Mahida sir, EC member, Shri Govind Guru University.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm requesting to all the trustees, directors and principals of colleges. First of all, MKS Homeopathic Medical College, Karjan, Gujarat, all the directors, principals and trustees, Gujarat Homeopathic Medical College, Savli, Shri Mahalakshmi Homeopathic Medical College, Baroda, and SSHMC College, Godhra, Pioneer Homeopathic Medical College, Baroda, and Jai Jalaram Homeopathic Medical College, Reina Morwa, to honor a memento to university, to offering this handover to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Pratap C. Chauhan, sir. And the memento is the portrait of Hahnemann, sir, Samuel Hahnemann, sir, for the new building of our Shri Govind Guru University.
Again, I am requesting to the all principals, directors and trustees of the 6 colleges to offer a memento to Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं कि वी आर रिलेटेड टू एकेडमिक कमेटी और टीचर्स। दोस्तों, कुछ भी अगर क्लास में होता है तो पहले स्टूडेंट को खबर पड़ती है, स्टूडेंट के बाद टीचर को खबर पड़ती है, टीचर के बाद एकेडमिक इंचार्ज को खबर पड़ती है और उसके बाद जो है दोस्तों प्रिंसिपल तक वो बात पहुंच जाती है। तो ऐसा ही कुछ यहाँ पर माजरा हुआ है कि हमारी श्री गोविंद गुरु यूनिवर्सिटी गोधरा जो आज ये प्रोग्राम कर रही है अंडर द गाइडेंस ऑफ ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर, तो जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करेंगे कि ये खबर दिल्ली तक पहुंच चुकी है दोस्तों। और दिल्ली में भी एक खुशियों की लहर चल पड़ी है इस सुहाने मौसम में, बारिश के मौसम में, थोड़ी गर्मी थोड़ी बारिश के मौसम में। तो उन्होंने वहां से हमारे इस प्रोग्राम के लिए शुभकामनाएं भेजी है और शायद ये ऐसा इंडिया में पहला प्रोग्राम है जो श्री गोविंद गुरु यूनिवर्सिटी 2 जुलाई को ये सेलिब्रेट कर रही है। दिस इज वन ऑफ द फर्स्ट प्रोग्राम थ्रू आउट द इंडिया और इसे सालों तक बरसों तक याद रखा जाएगा सर। और जब जब भी याद रखा जाएगा तो ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर सर का नाम तो जरूर आएगा। तो यहां पर मैं बुलाना चाहूंगा प्रिंसिपल ऑफ पायोनियर होम्योपैथिक मेडिकल कॉलेज डॉक्टर अल्पेश शाह सर टू रीड द मैसेज फ्रॉम प्रेसिडेंट MARB NCH न्यू दिल्ली
Thank you, sir. Sir rightly told, Shri Govind Guru University is the first university to have such celebration and to give such a reverence, being a university. Various other units are there, various other associations are there in India who are giving the reverence on 2nd July. But among the university, Shri Govind Guru University is the first university in India to have the reverence on the 2nd July. This is a message from Dr. K.R. Janardhan Nair. Everybody might be knowing CCH has been replaced by NCH, and we have 3 different boards from NCH. So Dr. K.R. Janardhan Nair, President of Medical Assessment and Rating Board for Homeopathy. A special message for this day to Govind Guru University. I am reading out sir's message. Dr. Samuel Hahnemann has explored a new way of therapeutics, unique in the sense of identifying and understanding the disease, with an outlook of applications of medicines active in the similar plan. So the immune mechanism of the person is energized, and the healing of the illness takes place as a normal process of establishment of health. Dr. Hahnemann has given a clear view of incidence of disease through the miasmatic theory. The expression of disease through psychic and physical plane through symptoms highlight the influence of the disease force on a total human system, eventually reaches in a specific physical plane. The study of any disease condition as per principles of Dr. Hahnemann is highly unique, that it is the way of perception that diagnosis and identifications of disease through a new theory in which the natural cure is established by the similar drug in the similar possible dose. In this respect, it is highly appreciable that within a short span of time of 230 years, the therapeutic system based on this new concept has been widely accepted all over the world. Since the world population is looking for the most harmless holistic system of medicine, the theory of homeopathic that promotes healing by improvement of immune system of body has got wide acceptance and approval by the human community all over the world. The challenge of the human community and the homeopathic doctors of this era is certainly answerable. Questions raised by the critics may be answered on a scientific lines. This needs through the interactions, collaborative research and experience in a clinical practice for the homeopathic doctors. Their proficiency in the clinical practice and research needs to be improved extensively. Day by day, new research has to be carried out to understand the pulsation of the disease force and the human vital force in the activity of healing mechanisms. I wish the entire homeopathic fraternity should concentrate on clinical as well as fundamental research to proclaim the proficiency of homeopathic system of medicine through the scientific publications. We may take this as a challenge of this year. I also extend my sincere greetings and appreciation to all my fellow doctors on the occasion of 179th death anniversary of Dr. Christian Frederick Samuel Hahnemann being conducted on 2nd July 22 at Shri Govind Guru University, Godhra. Dr. K.R. Janardhan Rai, President, Medical Assessment and Rating Board for Homeopathy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. President, Board of Medical Ethics, Dr. Pinakin Trivedi sir has also sent a message to us. Now I am requesting the principal of Shri Shamlaji Homeopathic Medical College to read the message of Dr. Pinakin sir.
Thank you, Ansari sir, for giving chance. It is a message from the President, Board of Ethics and Registration for Homeopathy, NCH. It is pleasure to know that Shri Govind Guru University, Godhra, Gujarat is celebrating Master Hahnemann 179th death anniversary and organizing seminar with the theme Revering, Hahnemann, Reaffirming Our Faith. It is heartening to note that it is the first university to celebrate Master's death anniversary with a motto to propagate the Hahnemannian teaching among the teaching faculties. This event will revive the basic principles of homeopathy in its true sense and in the perspective of Hahnemann itself, which will further propel among the students as they are the ultimate descendants of homeopathy. Also, it will bring back the mission of homeopathy in the society, that is, practice homeopathy in a virtuous way. I hope that the seminar will witness enthusiastic participation of teachers and homeopathic practitioners from all colleges under the banner of Shri Govind Guru University. Best wishes for the successful organization of the seminar as planned on the occasion. I wish this seminar a grand success. With best wishes, Dr. Pinakin Trivedi sir, President, BERH, and CH. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, sir, Secretary NCH, New Delhi, has also participated with us and has sent his message here. And now I am requesting to the Principal of Gujarat Homeopathic Medical College, Dr. Tejas Seth, please come and read the message.
This message from Dr. Sanjay Gupta, Secretary NCH. Message is, I am glad to know that Shri Govind Guru University, Godhra, Gujarat is commemorating 179th death anniversary of Master Samuel Hahnemann with the theme of Revering Hahnemann, Reaffirming Our Faith on 2nd July 2022. May the teaching of Master Hahnemann inspires us all. Best wishes. Regards, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, Secretary, NCH. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I am inviting Dr. Hima Parikh, madam, to continue the program.
Thank you, Dr. Asrani, sir. Ansari, sir. Sorry. Good morning, all. Before I go ahead, I must tell that this is one of the very unique conference which has been organized by our university, SGGU, and I really congratulate all the dignitaries on the dais, because there is a feeling of being with the family, one family. And there are conferences which have been organized where students are there. This is for teachers, because unless we upgrade ourselves, we cannot pass on that message. So, along with, I think we have heard 3 important messages from NCH, and we take, on behalf of university, I take this opportunity to announce 2 important developments which has taken place in recent time. And one of the important is, you all must be aware, but this is the time that we must felicitate the achievement of one of our faculty, Dr. Hitesh Purohit, Principal, Srimati Malini Kishore Sanghvi Homeopathic Medical College. He started as a principal. He did not end, and his journey continued. He became a syndicate member. He became a PhD center coordinator. That wasn't an end. And now we are proudly announcing that Dr. Hitesh Purohit has been nominated as a member, National Commission of Homeopathy, Delhi. And I would request our respected Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Pratap Singh Ji Chauhan, Sir, to please do the honor of felicitating Dr. Hitesh Purohit. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So since we are here, I would definitely like to take opportunity on behalf of our Srimati Malini Kishore Sanghvi Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital. This is one of the important platform where we as an institute will also like to felicitate our friend, our principal, Dr. Hitesh Purohit. May I request Dr. Mihir Parikh, Dr. Bipin Jain, Dr. Ami Majmudar, Dr. Dilip and Dr. Chirag to please come forward, and I would also like to join that. Thank you so much. It doesn't end for SGGU. there is one more development, one more achievement. We are 6 colleges affiliated to our university SGGU, and today we have our first PhD doctorate who has completed, and that none other than our only respected Dr. Alpesh Shah. If I say he is man of action, man of few words, but he completed that first. So I request again our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir to please felicitate Dr. Alpesh Shah sir. Thank you so much. I think they both need still more a big round of applause. We are proud of Dr. Hitesh Purohit and Dr. Alpesh Shah.
Thank you very much, madam. And one more congratulations to Dr. Hitesh Purohit sir and Dr. Alpesh Shah sir. Now it's time to vote of thanks for the inaugural ceremony. So I am inviting Dr. Hitesh Purohit sir. Please come and say on vote of thanks.
Good morning, everybody. I am thankful to the Vice Chancellor, sir, because I would say since beginning he has put 100% faith in me. And that faith has helped me to develop further. Sir હંમેશા કહે છે I am with you, પણ જે કરો એ નીતિથી કરજો. And that has helped me at various level. Homeopathy, if it is a development of a homeopathy, exams, PhD. Now 100% sir has said, you go ahead, I am with you. And that is a leadership quality which I have seen, I have learned. For NCH also, sir was the, and sir is the only person who persuade and who helped. So I think when we have a leadership like sir, and young university, sir has said a young university, but this young university has been appreciated by, because of a work by our, first by our Prime Minister Modi ji. He talked. And that credit goes to sir and the entire team. And you see today, the NCH has taken a note of it. Okay, on reverence, no, not a single university in India is doing this, and you are the first to become a torch bearer. So thank you, sir, all the time to guide us. My dear syndicate member, who always help me to take a certain decision from time to time related to the homeopathy. Most silent, but most important. Whenever I have some confusion, I go to registrar. Sir, what is this? What you will do? And he said, that is same. Niti ma ave karjo. So thank you, registrar sir. And I will specifically thanks to our Vice Chancellor sir and registrar, because when I said I would like to have a seminar on a 179 death anniversary, sir, go ahead. That is the only thing. Sir, otherwise say go ahead. VC sir. You nothing to worry. Nothing to worry about money, nothing to worry about that. University is there when you are doing something good work. Thank you, my dear friend Dr. Vipin Jain. I know how much busy schedule he is having. He is doing a number of other activities related to the education, but he is able to find out a time, because by heart he is having a heart of giving something related to the education. Thankful to the trustees who stood with us, all the principals, teachers, media men, And if I do not appreciate my university team, I don't think I am doing a justice. I was under tension, either it will be, but Jagrut ke sir, you don't, tame chinta chhodi do eke. You come tomorrow and you will able to see. Thank you, Jagrut and all the team. And the most important person who has taken a pain with university team is faculty member of Dr. Vishal. I think the Pratik was there and Ansari sir was there. And thank you. And our Pankaj Bhai, because they spent the entire day, so we are able to see whatever today we are able to create. And I would say this is just a beginning. With a young university, everybody has to run. And when we have a leader like sir, who are a visionary, who would like to see that our university shines at various levels. We are going into the NAC. Our university is going to the NAC, and with that, because we had a only meeting 5 days back, and sir said that we should get A+ only. So this is a vision of sir, and with that, I definitely, on the behalf of all the homeopathy colleges, I give you assurance that we will do the best. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you. And I will not take much time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, कुछ सुनाना चाहते हैं हम सबको, तो मैं उनको यहाँ पर बुलाना चाहूँगा. प्रोफेसर प्रताप सिंह चौहान सर.
मैं आपको कोई जादुई बात तो नहीं कहना चाहता हूं, लेकिन हमारे जो पुरोहित जी हैं, ये पहली टर्म तो फाउंडर सिंडिकेट मेंबर थे, उसके बाद भी ये सेकंड टाइम ये सिंडिकेट मेंबर बने. 2 ही लोग बने हैं और दोनों वही हैं, उपेंद्र भाई राठवा जी और हितेश पुरोहित जी. ये दोनों लोग ये सेकंड टाइम, पहले फाउंडर भी इसी थे, अभी सेकंड टाइम भी वो बने हैं. और ये बातें मोदी साहब की थी, तो मोदी साहब अभी बड़ौदा में आए थे, पावागढ़ भी आए थे हमारे विस्तार में. उसने कई यूनिवर्सिटी के नाम का उल्लेख भी किया, 2-3 यूनिवर्सिटी का, और इसमें थोड़ा गोविंद गुरु के बारे में, क्योंकि हम तो छोटा बच्चा है ना, तो लेकिन थोड़ा छोटा बच्चे के लिए भी हमें मोटिवेशनल फोर्स उसकी तरफ से मिला है. तो मैंने कहा कि ऐसे तो वो तो सब जगह पर वायरल हुआ ही होगा, आपने सुना ही होगा, और आपके ध्यान में ना आ गया होगा. तो मैं थोड़ा ये बात आपको कहना चाहता हूं कि ये बच्चा छोटा है लेकिन सिंह का बच्चा है. ये मत भूलिए कि ये कभी ये रिस्क ले सकता है, और उसके बारे में हमारे मोदी साहब ने कुछ कहा है. तो मैं आपको ये बात आधा मिनट का भी नहीं है, लेकिन हम आपको सुनाने के लिए रेडी हैं. मैं बताता हूं. થોડુંક મને લાગે કે વોલ્યુમ વધુ કરી દેજો થોડું. હા, ફૂલ કરી દઈએ, મારા સુધી ના આવે. અરે કઈ જરૂર નથી, એટલો બધો સમય કાઢવાની જરૂર થઈ જશે. અહીંયા
ગોવિંદ ગુરુ યુનિવર્સિટી એણે તો દેશભરમાં આકર્ષણ જમાવ્યું છે.
એટલે આમ તો આ બહુ મોટી વાત તમારા માટે કદાચ હશે, મારા માટે જવાબદારીની વાત છે. સાહેબે એવું કીધું કે બહુ મોટું આકર્ષણ જમાયું છે રાષ્ટ્રીય લેવલ ઉપર. એ આકર્ષણને બરકરાર રાખવું, કારણ કે નાનું બાળક છે, ગમે ત્યારે ગમે બાજુ ભાગે, એની ચિંતા હું મારી સિન્ડિકેટને પણ કહું છું કે આનાથી હરખ લીધા જેવું નથી. આની જવાબદારીનું દાયિત્વ માથે લેવાની જવાબદારી આપણી છે કે ગોધરાની અંદર લોકો આપણે જુદી રીતે જોતા હોય છે, એની નજર બદલવાનું કામ એ ગોવિંદ ગુરુ યુનિવર્સિટી એક લેન્ડમાર્ક ઊભો કરીને થાય, બધાને સાથે લઈને ચાલે. સાથે લઈને ચાલવું એટલે આપણી 5 આંગળીઓ સરખી નથી, તો અહીં 6 જણા બેઠા છે એ સરખા કેવી રીતે હોઈ શકે? પણ એને એક મંચ ઉપર લાવવા અને એની અંદર નાની મોટી જે કંઈક એ સંવાદ ન થતો હોય તો યુનિવર્સિટી એનું માધ્યમ બને અને બધાને એક સાથે લઈને ચાલે. અને મૂળ હેતુ છે એ આ ફેકલ્ટી ડેવલપ થાય. પુરોહિત સાહેબ કહે છે કે જ્યારે કહે ત્યારે સાહેબ કહે છે કે હું તમારી સાથે છું. લીડરનું કામ જ આ છે કે પોતાના માણસો પર સંપૂર્ણ ભરોસો રાખે, એને તક પૂરી આપે, એને ફ્રીડમ આપે. આઝાદી તો આને કહેવાય, ફ્રીડમ તો આને કહેવાય કે જે પોતાનો માણસ છે એ બિંદાસ કામ કરી શકે, પણ ચિંતા એ કરે કે ગરબડ પોતે ન કરી જાય. કારણ કે આ દેશની સૌથી મોટી સમસ્યા એ છે કે આ દેશ એ સમૃદ્ધ ભારત છે, પણ સમૃદ્ધ ભારતમાં ગરીબો વસે છે એ આપણા માટેનું કલંક છે. ગરીબાઈ એ માનસિક ગરીબાઈ છે. સાધન અને સંપત્તિની દ્રષ્ટિએ આપણે ગરીબ નથી, પણ મૂળ સમસ્યા જે છે એ સ્વાર્થ એ ડોમિનેટ થઈ જાય છે અને પરમાર્થવાળી કામ છે એ વાતોમાં વધુ આવે છે, એક્શનમાં ઓછી આવે છે. આ યુનિવર્સિટી એ પાયા ઉપર હાલે છે કે જે પાયો એનો એ છે કે બધાને સાથે લઈને ચાલવું, ભેદભાવ નહીં રાખવો અને દરેકને તક આપવી જોઈએ. જેને કામ કરવું એ આ યુનિવર્સિટીમાં અવકાશ છે. કારણ કે અમે તો 7 જ જણા છે, બાકી બધું તમે કરો છો. ઘણી વખત પુરોહિત સાહેબ બહુ કરે એટલે મને ઘણા બધા કહે કે એકલા પુરોહિત સાહેબ કેમ, તમે આવો ને બપોર પછી તમને લઈએ. બપોર પછી આવવું નથી અને આવે છે એને રોકવું છે, એ બે બની શકે નહીં. અને એમાં યુનિવર્સિટી નિર્ભય છે, ભયવાળી નથી. એટલે તમે કંઈ કહો અને મારા ઉપર અસર થઈ જાય. મને જાત દરરોજ સવાર સાંજ 2 ટાઈમ કહે, પણ હવે એનું કામ છે અને મારે મારું કામ કરવાનું છે. આપણે આ ફેકલ્ટીને ગુજરાતની અંદર એ બાકીની યુનિવર્સિટી, હું રાજકોટથી કુલપતિ તરીકે આવ્યો છું અહીંયા, ત્યાંય મેં 2014થી 18 કામ કર્યું છે. અને હોમિયોપેથની અંદર પણ સર્જન જેવું કામ કરેલું મેં. ડમી જે આવતા હતા એ બધા જેલમાં છે, ટ્રસ્ટી અને પ્રિન્સિપાલ ને બધા, ડીન બેન સહિત બધા. એનો પણ પ્રણેતા હું જ હતો. એટલે તમે મને બરોબર સમજજો, સમજવાની ભૂલ નહીં કરતા. કારણ કે જે ખોટું થઈ રહ્યું છે એને કોઈએ નિર્ભય થઈને રોકવું જ પડે. અને એ રોકવાનું કામ કંઈક નરેન્દ્રભાઈ કરે છે, બાકીનું કામ એમણે નીચે હોપ્યું છે. એ બધા અમને ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક ઈશ્વરે આમાં નિમિત્ત બનાવી દીધા છે. આપણે રોકવાનું છે. ડમી વિદ્યાર્થી સંચાલકો લાવતા નહીં. જો એ લાવશો તો અગાઉનો એક્સપેરિમેન્ટ છે જ, હે ને? એટલે એવું કોઈ કરતા નહીં. અને આ તમારી કઈ માંગ હશે, જેન્યુન માંગ હશે, ફેકલ્ટીના વિકાસની માંગ હશે, તો યુનિવર્સિટી એકદમ તૈયાર છે. તમે આગળ વધો અને અમે તમારી સાથે છે. મારો વિચાર પણ આવો છે કે ફેકલ્ટીની અંદર જ્યારે એટલા બધા લોકો હોય, 150 ટીચર હોય, એના ફેકલ્ટી ડેવલપમેન્ટ પ્રોગ્રામ બહુ જ મોટા માણસોને બોલાવીને 4, 5, 6 કોલેજ ભેગી થઈને એના 10 લોકોને 50નું યુનિટ કરીને બહુ જ મોટા માણસોએ હાઉ ટુ ટીચ a homeopathy education in the field. What are the qualities needed to the teacher? What clinical research is important? આ બધી બાબતો ટીચર સુધી લાવવી પડશે. કારણ ટીચર છે માસ્ટર કરીને સીધો ભણાવવા આવે છે. તમારે ત્યાં ટ્રેનિંગ જેવું કંઈ છે નહીં. મેનેજમેન્ટમાં તો અમારે ઇન્ડિયન ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ ઓફ મેનેજમેન્ટ અમને ટ્રેન કરે છે. ઇફ યુ આર ટીચર ઇન મેનેજમેન્ટ, you go back to the fellowship program, stay there for 1 year, learn the things, how to teach the management students and come back. આવી સિસ્ટમ છે. તમારે ત્યાં આપણે કંઈ ન થાય તો યુનિવર્સિટી લેવલ ઉપર આનો બહુ ખર્ચો પણ નથી આવતો. ઘણા લોકો ખર્ચી ખૂબ બી છે. અમે કીધું છે કે કંઈ તમે પુરોહિત સાહેબ ગભરાતા નહીં. શું કામ? આ યુનિવર્સિટી એકદમ પછાત એરિયા ગુજરાતના છે, છતાં પણ આર્થિક રીતે અમે સમૃદ્ધ છે. જે માણસને સમૃદ્ધિની ટેવ જ ન હોય તો એ તો ગરીબનો ગરીબ જ રહી. એટલે મેં પહેલી ભાવના બદલી છે કે અમે ગરીબ નથી. અમને કોઈ ગરીબ કહે એ અમને જરા પણ પરવડતું નથી. એટલે ગરીબની વ્યાખ્યામાંથી બહાર નીકળી અને થોડુંક તમે પણ ઇન્વેસ્ટ કરીને, ભલે આપણે ન કર્યું હોય, આપણા યંગ ટીચર કરે, રિસર્ચનું કામ કરે, ટ્રેનિંગનું કામ કરે, એ ભણાવવા માટે કેવી રીતે વિદ્યાર્થી વધુમાં વધુ આપણી કોલેજમાં આવે. તમે એજન્ટને જેટલા પૈસા આપો છો એટલા ટ્રેનિંગમાં આપજો, તો બધી જ સમસ્યાઓ તમારી હલ થઈ જશે. એટલે મને તો માહિતી આવે છે, હું આનું એક્સપર્ટ નથી, પણ જે માહિતી આવે છે એ તમને હું કહી રહ્યો છું કે ભેગા થઈ અને કંઈક આવો સંકલ્પ કરો ને, ઓલો સંકલ્પ કરો છો એમાં આવો પણ એક ભેગો કરી દઉં તો મને લાગે કે આ ફેકલ્ટીનું કલ્યાણ થશે. અને છેલ્લે તો આ યુનિવર્સિટી, આ વિસ્તારના લોકોનું કલ્યાણ થશે. અને સશક્ત ભારતની જે વિચારધારા છે, કોઈ એક આગળ જાય ને બાકીના પાછળ રહે એ વિચારધારા નથી. સબકા સાથ સબકા વિકાસ, એ મોદીજી કહે છે, આપણે એને સમજતા જ નથી. એ એમ કહે છે કે આ પોલિટિકલ એજન્ડા છે. ઇટ ઇઝ નોટ અ પોલિટિકલ એજન્ડા. બધા જ ધર્મ, બધા જ લોકો એક સાથે ચાલીને જો આ દેશનો વિકાસ કરશે ત્યારે દેશ એ $5 ટ્રિલિયન ઇકોનોમી થશે અને $30 ટ્રિલિયન ઇકોનોમી પણ થશે. અને તો એ દેશ એ વિશ્વને લીડ કરતો હોય કે જ્યાં પ્રજા સશક્ત હોય. આપણે તો જુદા જુદા છે બધા, ધર્મથી, જાતિથી, જેન્ડરથી, કેટલા કેટલા મને હજી ખબર નહીં એટલા બધા નામ છે. એથી આપણે બધા ઉપર ઉઠીને એક થઈ જાય. ભારત એ વિશ્વની એક એવી શક્તિશાળી એ પ્રજા છે અહીંયા કે અહીંયા 12મી સદીથી લઈ અને 19મી સદી સુધી લોકોએ આક્રમણ કર્યા, લોકોએ અહીંયા ખૂબ આપણા ઉપર રાજ કર્યું અને છતાંય અહીં સનાતન ધર્મ હજી પણ ચાલે છે. તો એ કઈ નાની મોટી ઘટના નથી. એને તમે લોકો બહુ ઇઝી લેતા હશો, પણ અમે લોકો એને સહજ, આ એટલી બધી સંસ્કૃતિ સહજ છે એના તમે બધા વારસદાર છો. એટલે તમે નબળા નથી. સ્વામી વિવેકાનંદે કીધું છે કે પ્રબળ ભારતના હે મહાન પુરુષો ઉઠો. આની વાત કઈ આપણે એમને એમ નથી કીધી. એને ખબર હતી કે પ્રજા તો એકદમ બળવાન છે પણ એ સૂતી છે. એને ઉઠાવો, જાગો. અને લક્ષ એટલે બીજું કોઈ જ નહીં, માનવ કલ્યાણનું લક્ષની જ વાત છે એની. બીજી કોઈ કલ્યાણ એ ઉઠવા જાગવાની લડાઈ કરવાની વાત નથી. અને એટલે આ દેશ છે સહિષ્ણુ દેશ છે. આપણે બધાનો સ્વીકાર પણ કરીએ છીએ અને સાથે સાથે એની સાથે તાલ મિલાવીને કામ પણ કરીએ છીએ. વિશ્વના દરેક દેશોની અંદર ભારતીય છે, ત્યાં કોઈ દી આપણે કંઈ ખલેલ નથી કરી. એની જે સંસ્કૃતિ છે એની સાથે આપણે ટેવાઈ ગયા. કામ કરે અને વધુમાં વધુ કમાતી કોઈ પ્રજા હોય એ ભારતીય છે. તમે એના વારસદાર છો. એટલે તમારી જાતને તમે નબળી નહીં માનતા. ક્યારેક ક્યારેક આપણે કે આ દેશમાં શું કરવાનું, એ હતાશ માણસ છે. એની બાજુમાં પણ બેઠતા નહીં. દૂર ભાગજો એનાથી, ભાગો ભાગો રે ભાગો, એવું કરજો. કારણ કે એ તમને હતાશા સિવાય કંઈ નહીં આપે. એની પાસે જે હોય એ આપે ને, હે ને. રિબાઉન્ડ તો આ જ હોઈ શકે કે તમે જે નેટમાં મારશો બોલ એટલો જ રિબાઉન્ડ થઈને બહાર આવશે. અને એ બહાર ના આવે એટલા માટે બધા સાથે થઈને ચાલીએ અને આ ફેકલ્ટીનું ઉત્થાન થાય. એમાં યુનિવર્સિટીનો જે સાથ અને સહકારની જરૂર હશે. અમે કોઈ પાસેથી ડોનેશન પણ નથી લેતા. એટલે તમે જોજો, કોઈ સ્પોન્સર પ્રોગ્રામ પણ નથી કરતા. શું કામ? યુનિવર્સિટી વિલ ડુ ઇટ. એટલી ગરીબ નથી કે આપણે બધા પાસે માગવા જાવ. અને માગવા વાળાનો હાથ હંમેશા નીચે હોય છે. અમે તો આપવા વાળા છે. દેના બેંક છે, લેના બેંક નથી. થેન્ક યુ.
With permission of our VC sir, I am just representing something which is very important. Okay, the way how PhD program is helped. Our two guide and one scholar is presenting their paper in World Homeopathic Liga in Istanbul. Dr. Mihir Parikh paper has been selected. He's going to talk on a role of homeopathy in malaria, where he has done the research. How does it help? Dr. Hema, who is going to talk on the role of homeopathy in cerebral palsy, and Dr. Chirag, who is going to talk on a role of homeopathy in bronchitis. So you see how our PhD program has helped the faculties to shine at the world level. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to all of you, all 3 person teachers. Now I am requesting Dr. Keyur sir, please play the line of Honorable Prime Minister.
ગોધરામાં ગોવિંદ ગુરુ યુનિવર્સિટી એણે તો દેશભરમાં આકર્ષણ જમાવ્યું છે. ભાઈઓ બહેનો,
Thank you sir. Now please stand up for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंग तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे भारत माता की वंदे वंदे. थैंक यू सर.
So good afternoon, everyone. We had a wonderful inaugural session with a very inspirational and motivational talk, mainly by our Vice Chancellor, sir. Now it is time to begin with scientific session. I, Dr. Hema Parikh,
and I, Dr. Ruta Dave, hereby taking opportunity to welcome all of you
on behalf of Shri Govind Guru University, Godhra, to the Reverence to Dr. Hahnemann on 179th death anniversary of our Master. The theme of our today's session is Revering Hahnemann, reaffirming our faith. We are opening with our first speaker, Dr. Bipin Jain. Dr. Bipin Jain, Principal, ML Davle Postgraduate Institute, Mumbai, and his topic is Reviving Hahnemannian Principle in Homeopathic Education, the Way Ahead. May I request Dr. Alpesh sir to please introduce Dr. Bipin sir, and I think the topic our VC sir has talked about education. Dr. Bipin will be focusing on that. Dr. Alpesh, please.
Respected sir, with the permission of Vice Chancellor sir, I am just giving you the brief introduction of Dr. Bipin Jain sir. Sir is BHMS MD from Mumbai University. Sir has done MBA from Alagappa University in the education management. Sir has also been the advanced certificate course in health science education from MUHS Nasik. Sir is currently the principal and the director of academic services at ML Davle Memorial Group of Organization. Sir is a professor, HOD, PG Guide, PhD Guide, Department of Materia Medica in the ML Davle Memorial Homeopathic Institute, Postgraduate, Palghar. Sir is also a member of Board of Studies at MUHS Nasik. Most important, sir is a resource faculty education technology member at CCH India. Sir is also a consultant and in charge department of cardiopulmonary, pediatric surgery, rural homeopathic hospitals, Palghar. Sir is a member of Board of Studies at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health, Karnataka. This is just a short introduction what I'm giving. Research training and member of clinical research in tuberculosis, anemia, COPD, pediatrics, education research, undergraduate and postgraduate. Sir has a training experiences involved with all faculty development programs at Mumbai, Palghar, Vadodara. Sir also is an examiner in different panels at Karnataka universities, NTR Health Universities, Andhra Pradesh. Sir has been a member of resource workshop in research methodology, training of teachers in materia medica, organon, repertory, psychiatry, both at the level of education policies, workshop at CCH, currently NCH, and in the MUHS. Sir has various publications, books, namely Stephysagria, The Wounded Hero, edition in 2009, The Arogama versus Samacharka Sastra, Pustak, volume 1, 2, 3 in Marathi. Sir also has a papers and the research papers in recognized national and international seminars. I will just read out few seminars where Sir has a presentations in Canadian Homeopathic Congress on the brain health on the topic of homeopathic management of depressions in 2013 in Canada, Toronto. Sir has a presentations in Canadian Homeopathic Congress in Toronto again in 2013 in Materia Medica, differential Materia Medica. Presentations in Childhood Asthma World Ayush Expo Homeopathic Conference in Navi Mumbai 2019. He was a member of presentations in Homeopathic Management League Mumbai on homeopathic management of acute pediatric emergency. Presentations in various nationals and international seminars. So that's just a short biodata. Sir has many achievements, many degrees with him. The most important thing is the most dedicated, down to earth and the practical man. What we see, the development at Palghar. It's a welcome to all faculties. Those who are still not visited at Palghar, they can have at least a one round. What we say when we say of Makkah, when we say of for cricket at Eden Gardens, same way for homeopathic, a standard NABH institute, a standard practical institute, you can have one visit at Palghar. So we are lucky enough to have with us Dr. Bipin Jain sir, one of the dedicated and a base pillar of Palghar Institute with us to discuss out with the new education policies. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Albeshar, for introducing Bipin Jain, sir. So now let us start with our first scientific session by Dr. Bipin Jain, sir, Principal ML Dhavle Postgraduate College, Mumbai. Welcome, sir.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Respected VC sir, Registrar sir, EC members, the management dignitaries, as well as principals and teachers of all the colleges affiliated to SGGU. It's indeed an honor to be here to share you some ideas on education and connecting them to our master. We are celebrating 179th death anniversary, and probably this is the first time I am attending a seminar being organized on a death anniversary. I mean, we celebrate birthdays and birth anniversaries, but not the death anniversary. And I personally feel that death is not an occasion to mourn. Death is an occasion to transform one into materialistic world to a spiritual world. And Dr. Hahnemann spread his spirit from 1843 till today all over the world. Now question is, how much we are feeling it? Question is, how much we are living it? And question is how much we are prepared to transfer it to the next generation. Now these are the questions which all of us should ask ourselves. If we look at the current educational technology, the teaching methods which we are having, I mean, if we examine, we are trying to build a resource of tomorrow. I mean, what we are trying to build resource today for tomorrow with the past technology. Now this doesn't fit into the whole world, because what sacrifices the master has made and built up this science, are we ready to propagate it further? And are we actually following the methods which he followed, which he guided in our teaching, learning on day-to-day basis? Now these are the certain issues which we need to address, which need to connect with what is there in a current medical world. Where was Hahnemann? Where was our master in that world? Was he behind? Was he forward? Then what is it which a homeopathic education needs? Are we ready for it? And if we are ready for it, what we need for this reform? And what contribution we as a teacher to make for this reform? Now this is all what we are going to deal with in this morning first session. So this is all that we will start with, familiarize with the development of medical education. We will connect it to Hahnemannian principle. We will also understand the current state of homeopathic education, and we will also understand what level of reforms are needed. And in the light of above reform, we will have to relook at homeopathic education and training, role of homeopathic teacher in facilitating this process, and to understand the changing PG and UG education needed at all the levels from syllabus to curriculum. And I must inform you that NCH has already taken a step forward. In very near future, you will be given a new syllabus. And we are not going to be far away on a competency-based dynamic education, which will be part of it. So we have to prepare ourselves for this. Next slide. It's a tribute to Master, who has not lived in vain, who has given everything to this world. Next. This is what Dr. Mir was talking, that do we need to be in a shadow of our elder brother, so-called elder brother, or we need to get free and understand we are the torch bearer and not the elder brother. Next. Dr. Hahnemann, in his organon, he has guided us in a major way that how do we practice from a fundamental laws to the principles, to the management, to approach to materia medica, to repertory. I mean, lot of those principles, but he has not clearly mentioned the methods, how to train and educate our student. There are subtle indications, there are subtle processes which he has laid down, and we as a teacher, we need to unfold those processes. So the man, I mean on your screen, I mean you all must visit his literature on education. And they were written not now, they were written 30, 40, 50 years before, when world itself was at its infancy as far as the medical education technology is concerned. He is the man who pioneered how to train and educate homeopath to prepare them for evidence-based practice and to propagate a research which is authentic, which is reliable, and which is not on paper. Now this is one of the challenge which we all have to accept. Next. There was a conference in Edinburgh. Interesting. Now you look at and this is World Federation for Medical Education. There is a World Federation. And there was a medical conference on medical education, and they did a declaration in 1988. You read whether you find anything familiar in this. Who is teaching us this? When? When? Is there anything which we never knew 200 years back? Yes? We knew it? Yes? And this declaration is coming when? Now this is the point. Where are we? So it is no longer enough only to treat some of sick. Thousands suffers, die every day from disease which are preventable, curable, or self-inflicted, and millions have no ready access to health care of any kind. It's our duty now. If we want a higher purpose of existence, with a mission, we must take up this job, right? Next. Now what does a declaration further say? The declaration says that the education has to be not only in hospital, but in a community. That means you must have access to community. You must know community. That means when you want to know an individual, you must know his psychological background, his working things, his education, his moral. Are these words familiar? Yes? Next. Sorry. The next is curriculum content. Something is passed on to us and we are teaching it years after years. How many times are we conscious of our national health priorities or local needs? If you want to propagate a science, if you want people should follow, you have to be sensitive to local needs. That's the second thing which education should include. Mode of learning. Majority of our teaching is transfer of knowledge. Right? We just take the lecture, student writes the notes, he repeats in an exam paper, he pass out. What has he learned? Make a note, write in a paper, pass out. That is what he has learned. So we need to transfer this passive learning into active, self-directed, independent, and continuing. You must inculcate the quality of lifelong learner. Who was a lifelong learner? And we are still with whatever he has taught us, we are still struggling to unearth. We are not even able to fathom what he has written. So are we creating these qualities in our learner? Curriculum and examination reform. Information and recall is a current system, right? We supply information, and what do we do in Viva Voce? tell me 5 of this, tell me 4 of this, tell me this principle, this is that, and this is just a recall. Are these doctors who are going to memorize and recall will be capable of treating patient? So what do we need to do? We need to achieve professional competence and social values. How do we design the competence? Now this is where the competence-based dynamic curriculum is going to be part of us very soon. We need to train our teacher and reward them adequately. This is all Edinburgh Declaration. It's nothing which I have added. Right? So we need to train and reward our teacher who are experts in content. All of us are expert in content. If we have been asked whichever subject I am teaching, I will be able to recall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because we are teaching the same thing year after year. Right? So what do we need to do? We need to educate them in modern education technology. We need to inbuild as a researcher, and then we have to reward them adequately as researcher, and not because teachers are not being valued as researcher. People who are creating researchers are not being valued at par with them. The current goal is to treat sick. The goal has to be prevention and promotion of health. Tell me consciously how many times we have stopped at aphorism number 4 and reflected what is the meaning of preserver of health. Teachers of community medicine has a central role in homeopathic education beside organon. Have we taken that role? Well, it's a big responsibility for all of us. If really we want to preserve and promote an optimum output from all of us, then prevention is the only way and not curing the disease. And what better than homeopathy? Tell me what better than homeopathy? The methods of teaching, compartmentalized and linear. I am boss of anatomy, I am boss of physiology, I am boss of pharmacy. We are boss in our own areas, we have our own kingdoms. And no communication. So there are a lot of repetitions, lot of irrelevant things to relevance. Students don't understand what is being taught is taught for what. Because they don't get connected with the problem solving. When we are looking at adult learning, now let's reflect on our own self. How do we solve problems? Because as a healer, we need to address to both the clinics and community, right? Now this is, again, I am not saying. This is 1988 World Conference on Medical Education, Edinburgh. And when they are waking up, after how many years after our master? And now look at what happens to a scenario in Indian medical education. Next. This is not homeopathic education, mind you. Outdated curriculum, poor competency in real time. What competency needed today is not being taught. You know, a lot of people complain that in departments also, a lot of old instruments which are outdated, which are of no use. We are still with that. Basic science and clinical divide. That means anatomy, physiology is separate, the pathology is separate, and all clinical subjects are separate. There is a clear division. There is no bridge, no connections, no contact. Limited use of technology. I am really comfortable with my blackboard, and so I'm okay. I don't want to use current change in technology, the audio, the visual, the video, the available material which can give a visually and audio-wise connections and take you to the real world. Poor focus on social and community setup. The focus is on क्या symptom है, 1, 2, 3, done. Fixed, rigid assessment methods. When I was a student, the way I was assessing, the same way, when I was assessed, the same way I am assessing. So where are we? We don't want to change the way we treat. We don't want to change the way we assess. The stress on information and facts. That is why there was a saying, a gold medal is not a good practitioner. It's a saying because he is master in information and facts, and he is being assessed on information and facts. And he will be zero in problem solving. We have to train our students for problem solving in a real time, not for yesterday, but for tomorrow. Teacher as information provider and student as receiver. Poor collaboration in and out of the institute. Each institute has got its own. I mean, even in the same university, how many times we collaborate with each other and run a program which will be of mutual benefits, and the faculties can exchange their ideas. That also is not. And this is medical education. I am still not talking about homeopathic education. This is medical education till 2018 in India. Next. So they came out, the MCI, the Medical Council of India, came out with the competency-based undergraduate curriculum for the Indian medical graduates. I must suggest and tell you that please visit that curriculum and read preamble. Very, very interesting preamble. And what they want to achieve. They have already created a competency-based dynamic education curriculum. And again, I am reiterating that it is going to come as far as homeopathy is concerned. We cannot escape to modernize ourselves. What is the thirst in that? Continuation and evolution of thought in medical education, more learner-centric, patient-centric, gender-sensitive, outcome-oriented, and environment-appropriate curriculum needs to be structured. The result is an outcome-driven curriculum which conforms to global trends, because world has already moved Now there are newer concepts already entered. We have moved, the world has moved from competency based to outcome based. Now the professional interested, that means if I am going to a doctor, can an institute from where the graduate is passing out can trust that yes, I am in a right hand? That is where the medical education is moving. And we are still struggling with this. Emphasis is alignment and integration of subject. Horizontally means the same year. Vertically means across the cross. While respecting the strength and necessity of subject-based instruction and assessment. Interesting. The physiology person teaches anatomy again, because it is not being taught at the same time. And the anatomy person will limit with the structure without actually connecting with the function and its relevance to a medical student. So once the anatomy exam is over, the structure is over. When the physiology exam is over, absolutely, that is why we need to reform, we need to change. And that is why I am here to communicate with you and even discuss with you if time permits. Because this is where we need to go, and there is no escape. Please get it out of your mind that you can escape out of all these processes. Whether you want it or don't want it, it is going to come. Okay, then formulation of subcompetency. So you'll have to see what is a final outcome you want, then how much, what will be the competence, and then what are the sub-competencies which will take you to this competency. Now this is what an MCI says. Ayurveda has already come with this for first year. Already the first BAMS is there, and probably by next year it is coming for BHMS, or maybe this year. Next. Now let's connect to Hahnemannian principle. And you will realize that how we have wasted last 200 years. Next. It's a little, if you look at it, it is simple. But it has got a dire meaning that how all 6 aphorisms, they demonstrate the homeopathic practice and how, why, what, all are being answered by Hahnemann in 6 aphorisms. A physician can only guide a learner. So it's not teacher. A teacher in physician. So not a person who is not a physician. This is the first thing, because he understands the mission. He understands the meaning of rapid, gentle, permanent cure. That's the result. If we want that result, we have to demonstrate what data has to be collected. That is aphorism number 5. How it has to be collected? Aphorism number 6. For that, what is required? The knowledge is the aphorism number 3 and the 4. The whole education has come. The rest of the organon talks about the principles, the laws, and how to do it. Correct? Next. So let's translate his 6 aphorism into education parlance. Because one thing is very important, that all these masters, when they write, This is not applicable to just a field of clinical medicine. It has got multiple extensions in different fields. If you just think that for anyone has to be successful in life, or any business or any university or anything has to be successful in life, if we extend these 6 aphorisms, if you have a mission, if you know the clear goal, if you know what is needed, if you know what qualities one imbibed, and if you know how it has to be done, any business will be successful. Let's apply it to education. Mission of the physician has to be the aim of physician. Highest ideal of cure has to be the objective of medical education. That means you train your student to the highest. Train them and make them competent for highest ideal of cure and not just cure. Right? Then what is the third? Knowledge of disease, indications, medicinal power, choice of remedy, proper dose, factors, preserving health. Now these has to be incorporated into syllabus and curriculum. And then establish the causation at different level, that means 5. Care of observation and technique of erecting the portrait of disease and evolution of unprejudiced observer. It's a training methods and technique. Next. So what has to be done? Now recommendations through initiative in medical education. So what are our recommendations for teaching learning? We have to train teacher as an educator and reward them adequately. Then only they will be able to transform, translate the values, the system, the ethics and the process of mission which they owe to community. Highest ideal. So we need to transform the curriculum and examinations so that the professional competence, social values, concept of outcome based and competency based medical education. Now we need to train our teacher at all this level. Next. Knowledge of disease, indications, medicinal power, choice of remedy, that means our aphorism 3. The most important part here is that we need to inculcate community medicine as one of the mainstream subject. Curriculum reflecting national health priorities. I mean, Corona we all experienced. You know, everybody was wanting and we had all sorts of things coming out from all pathies. And we all were crying actually that why are we not given a platform? Why have they are not? That means we were not being able to produce the type of faith, confidence in a fraternity so that they could have given us a free hand. So rather than blaming others, we need to reflect in ourselves and we need to bring those culture into our central piece. So enlarge the setting of education and include community. Curriculum reflecting national health priorities. Increase emphasis on promotion of health and prevention of good integration of education in science and practice. Now we also need to train, if you want our students to get into the aphorism number 4, 5, 6. So I mean, you need to bring in active learning, self-directed and independent study to lead to lifelong learning, and problem solving in clinical and community center. See, the whole issue with the medical education as such and in homeopathic medical education is that we are not training our students with the capacities and capabilities to stand up and practice. They are too different. Will you agree with me? Why then? If theory and practice are different, then put organon into dustbin. We revere a man, we take an oath on his name, And then we say that theory is different and practice is different. That means it is our failure to connect both and train our students to go to that level. Next. Next. So homeopathic practice, if we put in a nutshell, depends on individualization and formulation of portrait. Now how do you form a portrait? We form a portrait by understanding the interaction of man and environment and what is the result, and how he has lived his life from an early childhood till today. Then only we will be able to conceive a dynamic portrait of through individualization by integrating different areas of that individual, and will be able to form a portrait, right? This is a demand of a practice. Yes, next. Yes, next. No, piche. Go back. Haan. Now what is the demand Dr. Hahnemann has put on us? We have to be an objective listener, objective healer. Objectivity doesn't travel just like that. I mean, very few have gone to the level where man and circumstance, right, are both looked from an objective perspective, and there is no gap. Then only we will be able to serve for higher services. And this is a demand which Dr. Hahnemann has put on us, on a physician, to be unprejudiced observer and translate above models even in our own life and living. If you don't live the same life, you will not be able to deliver the result. Because there cannot be a dichotomy in your action result. If your actions are not guided by a principle of unprejudiced observer, the result will not be according to the need. So we, as a physician, need to live our own life and living like this, and we need to train our students at this level. Since we are talking of the spirit of Dr. Hahnemann today and around, I mean, we are able to see that. Next. So then what is health? Health is a state of dynamic, stable equilibrium in which an individual is at peace. This is a little modified it, but please read it. Individual is at peace with himself as well as with the world, and he has no complaints. So please don't get into the mind that all of us are sick. It is a little relative, it's an ideal state. Okay? So what does it mean that our all structures are integrated? We do our functioning efficiently. We do a balanced expressions. But it has to be proportionate to time and circumstance. If I have been asked to deliver a lecture on something, and if I start talking third things, I may do that work efficiently. But it is not proportionate to the time and circumstance. Now this is an important state of health. And this is what a finer meaning of what Hahnemann said. Next. Next. Let's go to the next. Yeah. Yes. So if, go back. So if physician wants to deliver a result by interacting with patient about his man and environment and with the basic knowledges, he must have sensitivity to receive patient. And he also must have sensibility not to get swayed away by the suffering of patient. Now both the things are important. If you don't receive, you are at trouble. But if you receive and if you get swayed away, that means your judgment will alter. So the training needs to be focused at this level. Next. So for balance, efficient, integrate functioning, next, karte jao. Go. So we want a graduate. Our purpose is that we want a graduate who will be able to do balance, efficient, integrated functioning, which will benefit all. And he will be able to do healing with excellent professional care and a medical practice which is scientifically managed, creative, integrated with homeopathy and ancillary measures. Now this is probably the outcome we want, right? If you want this outcome, now how to go about? Next. So this is a basic control mechanisms in a simplified manner. Man, environment, control mechanism, mind. If it is in a balanced state, your neuroendocrine immunological system will work well, your cell, tissues and organ will perform well, and your all these changes will not have major impact, right? Next. So if we go on doing a balanced functioning, our form will be proportionate to the things. And next. Now this is a, I think how many of you have read Tortora? This is a beautiful diagram in a Tortora which talks about biological mechanisms of balancing and adaptations of stresses and how hormonal, neurohormonal mechanisms with endocrine is being done, and this is a treat to study it because this will help you in integration of lot of things. Next. 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 So now, if you are in a first BHMS, are this, what are we teaching there? Health. Right? We treat health. So what are the components of health? A psychology, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. What is the concept of health Dr. Hahnemann has propagated? And how does even our Materia Medica and repertory represent health? All anatomical structure represented in a repertory, in Materia Medica. How many of our anatomy teacher in their anatomy lecture talks about this? What is patient as a person? All physiology, the range of normal physiology. Each remedy has got their different physiology. How many times when we are teaching a system, we are able to relate with the remedies, their normal structure and function? A physiology teacher. I am not talking about a Materia Medica teacher. When we are teaching psychology, how many times we are connecting with the chapter on mind in repertory? The concept of mind by Hahnemann. That means the student is not able to establish relevance of what he is learning in first year, and which is the foundation of homeopathic practice. Now this is important. Next. Go back. Now, under the stress, if adaptations are being disturbed, then we start functioning erratic way. It's not still a disease, it's a state of diathesis. Applied anatomy. applied physiology, a disturbed state and a diathesis, which is then extended to preventive medicine, a community medicine. And what are the transient changes at a chemical level? Will that not form a proper foundation for the clinical learning into the next? And will not that establish the relevance of your subject which you are teaching? For student, anatomy, physiology is just recall. And then they really find it difficult later on to connect with pathology, the pathogenesis, clinical symptomatology, materia medica, organ on repertoire. Next. So we just discussed a good adaptation is a health, failure of adaptation and disharmony, and these are the processes which takes you to the disease. Next. Next. Yeah. Unstable state of disequilibrium reflects poor adaptation. Disease is a poor adaptation. In one word, of an individual to his environment. The peace is disturbed and we start complaining. We really need to reflect on this. Because it's very easy, the altered state of the vital force is disturbed with the noxious things, and we talk and what is those noxious things and what is disturbed and how is it relevant to my day-to-day practice. It doesn't get connected. Okay, so inefficient functioning, signs and symptoms and structural alterations, which is your functioning is disproportionate to time. If you want to have a good digestion and if it is not happening, that means the time whichever digestive enzymes were to get secreted has not secreted. It's a very, very simple thing. So this is a functional, and then function to structure, the ulcers, the malignancy, it goes on and on. Next. Yes. So now, getting connected with your pathology and pathogenesis, again with homeopathic subjects. How many times a pathology teacher teaching a different pathogenesis, add chapters on inflammation, chapters on neoplasia, chapters on hypersensitivity, chapters on hemodynamic disturbances, refer that these are the rubrics available in a repertory, or these are the core remedies which represents first stage of inflammation, second stage of inflammation, third stage of inflammation. These are the remedies which reflect non-healing. These are the remedies which reflect delayed healing. If it is being taught in a pathology class, it establishes the relevance. If it is taught in a materia medica class, it is just a knowledge transfer. Next. Sorry. So, if you imbibe these qualities in a student and give them a clinical cases as a problem based and teach them that how to solve a problem in an integrated way, then only we will be able to evolve a researcher. So, medicine, gynec, surgery, forensic, all subjects have to be taught as a homeopathic centering. All these subjects in a majority of places being taught, clinical medicine chapter, give 5 remedies, done. Done. How do I understand a hypertension's predisposition, disposition, diathesis, disease, the pathogenesis, the type of personalities, and connecting with the materia medica organ on repertory? So whether a homeopathy needs to be an engine or a last coach is our choice. So if you are going to teach your student all these clinical topics based on homeopathic concepts of predisposition, disposition, diathesis and disease, with the pathogenesis, expressions, the psychological personalities who are prone to this, it will go a long way in understanding the individualization and homeopathic concepts. Next. Next. So, I mean, it is 2002. I will not then spend a lot of time because we have already discussed. 2002, homeopathic regulations talks of integration. We never did it. Next. So again, state of homeopathic education is subject-centered, linear. The clinical and homeopathies are separate. The patients are not taken into the classroom. Classroom is not taken into the patient. The community is not taken into the classroom. Classroom is not taken. I mean, how a first-year student whom we are teaching aphorism number 5, the psychological, the social, the occupational, how is he going to understand until he faces and he sees the patient in first year that, oh, this can be a problem? You have to make it more operational. So because adult will only learn when there is a relevance. We don't learn anything without relevance. Our student also, or even our small children will ask, ये सब फालतू है, इसका कुछ नहीं होता है, ये एग्जाम में नहीं आता है. Option. So if we really, and we are really teaching an adult learners. And fragmented teaching. Next. So if you are going to assess, and what are we assessing? How many of us are really confident that after 5.5 years, our students are ready as a healer? You are confident? Oh. So that's a very low. So when you talk of 20%, I respect, but that 20% is out of their sheer extra effort. Correct. Though it is their individual effort. If you would have said 80%, I would have said we have contributed. No, that is because we are not being able to, give them the interest. So that is where now, if we are seeing the result, yeah. Correct. Absolutely, I respect it.
Whatever the structure in our country is adopted is a basic graduation of the student.
Correct.
Whereas in the foreign countries or other countries, they already are the graduate in the medical science, and there they are being adapted. They are trying to get the integration of the homeopathy.
Exactly.
So they are prepared for the allied topics.
Absolutely.
जो टीचर है वो तो 5 साल में सिलेबस खत्म करने में उसका तो टाइम.
करेक्ट. लेकिन हाँ, तो ये जो सिलेबस है ना, सिलेबस खत्म करना डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, प्रोवाइडेड वी चेंज अवर अप्रोच टू टीचिंग. करेक्ट. सो नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज व्हेन स्टूडेंट नोज कि ये मेमोराइज करके मैं पास हो सकता हूं, डन. हाउ मेनी टाइम्स अवर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स हैव गॉट प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड. If you give a problem-based, thought-provoking questions, but you cannot give it until you have taught it. It will be an injustice to student if you have not trained for it, and if you are going to put that question in a question paper. So it has to change drastically from base, and that is where the whole thing is going to come. Now we will have to make ourselves ready. Next. So this is a reform needed. Last. एक मिनट पीछे. What you said, sir, is very true. What is needed is a reform. If we understand Hahnemann's teaching methodology, Hahnemann learned everything by doing. applying a logic. He was a lifelong learner. Are we able to imbibe all those qualities and transfer them to our next generation? That is a challenge. And that is why we need a reform. Next. So foundation of homeopathic education is study of man, right? Correct? So study of man from his structure, function and evolution, and individualization at the mind, body and reactions. And then the interactions of man with physio, chemical, biological, social, cultural, economical and political things. So if we want to understand a man and his interactions at all these levels, and we establish the individualization, that means we all are individuals, we react in a different way and we adapt. So if we want this as a foundation, next. The central role is of organon and homeopathic philosophy. The department has to be robust. It has to be proactive, has to formulate so that the organon is translated into classroom, into clinics, into community, and we are producing competent homeopath. Otherwise, gradually we will have stars, individual stars, which will, litter in a sky. We don't want individual stars, we want mass. And we want mass to follow a science which is sustainable, which is eco-friendly, which is green, and which creates a level of highest level of functioning. We don't want our humanity and community to get deprived of it. The next generation will bless us, provided we are ready for it. Next. So what do we need to do? We need to train ourselves for action learning. That means teaching has to be based on action learning. What does an action learning based? It is a case based, problem based, community centered, web based, e-learning. So bring in newer technology. How can we do it? By horizontal and vertical integrations, by establishing the relevance. I mean, how many teachers of community medicine here? How many times you felt that you are the front runner in homeopathic colleges and the practice? I think there are only two bosses. One is organon and another is community medicine. If we want to actually help humanity. So don't sit back, take a lead. And then only we will be able to have an outcome of a type of homeopath which Hahnemann dreamed of. Otherwise, his spirit, I don't want to say further. Next. So all subjects to be studied from the homeopathic perspective. Emphasis on the applied aspect of organon and homeopathic therapeutics. Applied aspects of all subjects to be explored from the outset. If I teach anatomy from a structure perspective, and if I take a simple case of clinic and show that this is a problem and this is how it is related with the normal anatomy or a normal physiology, it becomes very easy and relevant. The student understands the importance. On the contrary, we get into a huge detail of structures and smaller details and smaller things which they just have to appear for exam and they forget, and we all have forgotten. Correct? Next. What is the role of the teacher in homeopathic education? Yes. If we want a reform, teacher is a center. You cannot have reform without a teacher. So teacher has to be trained in a modern teaching methods and technology. That has to be on a forefront. So if that is being done, then he will design, sir, जो आपका demand है, तो he will design a newer curriculum and design which is needed now. And a newer method of assessment. That means whatever you are doing in a curriculum, you have to assess student at that level. आप problem based सिखाओगे और recall का question दोगे, और आप recall सिखाओगे और problem का question दोगे, you are not doing justice. So there has to be linear. And if you do this, and if you report the failure, then there are chances of doing research in education. Educational research is a huge field. You have medical education, MS, in lot of universities in USA. We are at a very, and we have to take up education technology. Lot of methods and techniques probably our ashramas used to do, we have forgotten. That wasn't proper action learning under the boss being taught in an ashram away from all lad pyar. We have forgotten all that. आज तो बच्चे को एक झापट मारा, एक लाफो मारे ने तो घर वाला पहुंची जाए, मारा छोकरा ने हाथ केम लगाड्यो. And our time, sir, parents used to put 2 more. हाँ, વધારે મારો હતો. So education research is a need. So if we want to be an educationist, now this is where the teachers have to be on a center place. Next. So syllabus outline has to be clinical competence, educational strategy, assessment. Another important thing is management of teacher-student relationship. Teachers cannot alone find it. You have to develop a teacher-student relationship, and the biggest thing is managing change. We don't want to change because we are in a comfort zone. You will find teachers nowadays with the same PowerPoint every year. You make one PowerPoint and it is valid for next 20 years. And if you make a change, काम बढ़ता है. And then research and evaluation. Next, sir. So implication of changes on roles of health science teacher. Teacher has to be facilitator and not a information provider. Facilitator means you teach your student to gain knowledge and not give knowledge. He has to mentor the students for this. He has to be role model. Both. If he sees you doing same thing and not putting efforts, he will learn the same thing. He has to be the information provider. Information provider does not mean give ready-made. He has to guide them that here the information available, read and come back. He has to be resource developer. He has to be planner and assessor. Now these are the roles which all teachers have to occupy. And they need to develop a teaching expertise, medical expertise, able to connect to the student at a distance and student contacts. Next. So we need to train a teacher to undertake curriculum reform, plan and conduct assessment, take up projects in educational research, and teachers have to function as an academic coordinator, faculty development, and a change agent. Next. So what are the basic concerns in teacher training? Now this is for universities and institutions to look into. The core academics, that means educational philosophy and teaching methodology, a postgraduate teaching, syllabus formulation and curriculum development, theory to practice, community practice and education, clinical teaching and academic integration, assessment and evaluation and educational research, faculty development and CME, staff training and upgradation, and continue homeopathic medical education. Next. So what are the qualities expected from a teacher? He has to evolve as a committed, sensitive, knowledgeable educationist. Educationist in the clinic, classroom and community at all the three places. So anatomy teacher cannot escape and say, I will not attend OPD. I will not see patient. I will not go to community and understand, because that is important as far as teaching of anatomy is concerned, or teaching of physiology is concerned, or teaching of pharmacy is concerned. He has to be an academic coordinator, and the best is a change agent. If you want to bring about this, he has to be a change agent in a faculty development. Next. So I conclude that Hahnemannian principles need to be put in a central core in reviving homeopathic education and training. Homeopathic education needs deep reform and revamping in the changing world of education to cope with the changing health scenario of the country. You must have realized in a corona time the type of competency needed from an homeopath. Were we ready? Or we were just prescribing based on symptomatology? Reform should be based on the need of our country and the strength of homeopathic science. Teachers are the central pillars to make this happen. And teachers need to be trained in modern education system to deliver. Next. My acknowledgement to Vice Chancellor sirs, Registrar sir, syndicate member, the faculty of homeopathy, my mentor Dr. Kumar Ravale sir, all the respected teachers and faculty from SGGU, and faculty of my own institute. Next. Thank you for this patience listening. And now, forum is open for question answer. No, they can directly this mic. I can shout. So anyone who wants to. Question answer is most important part of it. Yes, madam.
Being the mathematical teacher for a long time, it has been found that in the initial days, we need to tell about the meaning of the different disease conditions, because in the now it is in second year, previously it was in first year.
Again, it will come in first year.
Yeah, it's good. Sir, it is very good that it is coming back.
It's coming back.
It's very difficult for us to manage.
It is coming back.
It is very difficult for us to manage the students.
Now here is the teacher's quality.
Yes.
If in a first year, if we all decide that in a Materia Medica, we are going to discuss the anatomical locations, physiological functions, and applied anatomy and applied physiology of that drug, and we will not talk about the complex pathologies of that drug.
Exactly. The part to be discussed in each year should be described.
Again, we are not providing information to the student. We are teaching them how to look at the subject and integrate with what they are learning in that year.
Yes.
So your pathology and pathological terminology finds meaning in second year.
Exactly.
And the Materia Medica in second year become more richer.
Exactly. Sir, the books are also to be recommended in that way only, so that they can integrate and they can use those books.
Yes, so that is
because there are multiple books available which can be used.
That is where we as a teacher need to be a change agent.
Yes.
That's a challenge.
Yes.
We all have to take.
My part was that being a mathematical teacher, we have to have the knowledge of all the subjects, then only we can give it to them to express the drug. Meaning,
everyone has to at least have a basic knowledge
yes,
of all 12
yes,
subjects. Which
all
we
the
are
12
teaching.
subjects. Then only we can produce it to the student. That is what it is. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions?
બધાને દર્શન થઈ જાય ને મને. જે રીતે MBBSમાં ક્લિનિકલ રિસર્ચનું કામ ચાલે છે, તો સર પણ અહીંયા હાજર છે અને હવે અમારા હિતેશભાઈ સિન્ડિકેટ મેમ્બર અને ત્યાં CCHના પણ મેમ્બર છે MCHના. તો ક્લિનિકલ ટ્રાયલનું કામ વધે. કોરોના કાળે આપણને ફેસ આપ્યો અને હોમિયોપેથીની સ્વીકાર્યતા પણ દિવસે દિવસે વધતી જાય છે. પણ શું એને આપણે એવિડન્સ બેઝ પુરવાર કરવું પડશે. તો કેટલા બધા લોકો સ્કીનમાં ને બધા ઘણા રિઝલ્ટ આપે છે સરસ રીતે, પણ એને ડોક્યુમેન્ટેશન, એનો ડેટાબેઝને આધારે જો ક્લિનિકલનું કામ થાય અને વીસી સાહેબને અમારી ટીમ એની લીડ લે પુરોહિત સાહેબના નેતૃત્વમાં, તો ખૂબ ઉપયોગી સાબિત થશે. થેન્ક યુ.
This is any matter. We have to, if we are very conscious of these processes, then we must have a standard way of documenting evidence. You can't say that मैं એને જોયું આપી દીધું ને પતી ગયું, or I saw 2 symptoms and done. I mean, you must have evidence in a standardized way. So there has to be a standard processes which has to be laid down for any clinical research. And if those standard processes are being laid down, it has to be followed, processed. Then only it will be possible. Why we faulted, in a corona call? Because evidence, we are seeing patients are being treated. Where is the document? Where are the evidence? Scientific world needs them. So standardized way of documenting, investigating, validating a result with a proper trial is only possible if a researcher is able to integrate this. Any more questions?
Sir, few hints of new syllabus? Integration. Integrated approach.
I think already there in presentation. It is coming. Possibly it is coming, including repertory in first year. One and a half year. I know. Because they were focused on practice-oriented education, and that has changed to facts-oriented education. When the shift happens from a problem and a practice-oriented education to fact-oriented, you produce pandits, you don't produce clinicians. Coming. No. Now again, if it would have been, and if I would have been in your place, I would have designed a different way of teaching. And it is possible. No. The whole problem with all of us is we are overloading them with the facts. If I look at from a homeopathic perspective, I would have planned a curriculum of combined anatomy physiology sessions. That it is possible. If we produce a relevance, now here is where we block our inquisitive capacities. We have to think out of box to take care of all eventualities and all disturbances. And as a teacher, this is one of the quality which all we must inculcate. I respect you, your experience. I have no difference with it. No, it's the problem is, see, the concept was you orient them in 1 year about anatomy and physiology. The applied anatomy, applied physiology were taken in a surgery, gynec and medicine. That was an original concept on which the MBBS curriculum was taken for 1 year. Now, what happened was the 1 year was transported to homeopathy, not the concept. Yes. So that communication did not happen. That is why we all suffered. I definitely agree. Yes, yes. Or a change. I tell you one thing. If we are not going to produce a competent homeopath who are able to live a respectful life, the current management will earn, the future colleges will disappear. If you cannot make somebody competent to earn his living respectfully with a first grade citizen in a health facilities, it's not long. Not today. We are disserving the next generation. And such a beautiful science, which is so close to nature, which is sustainable, which is eco-friendly, which is green-friendly, which is not going to take away a lot of resources of this world and going to treat human being at spiritual level, emotional, mental level, and a physical level. It's a big responsibility of management to collect resources for upliftment of a science from which they are earning, and help teachers to upgrade themselves, bring about the change. You will see the change will happen in next 10 years. Thank you. Sorry, I will not take this. My perception is 95% of students have got above average. 5% out of that, 3% are super intelligence, 2% have mental retardation. Rest 95% suffer because of not getting right mentors, facilitators and facilities. Please don't degrade your student by saying they are 45% duffer. I never take this. It is my responsibility to bring them up as a teacher. And it is, they are not duffer. They have to be. So that perspective needs to be changed. But everything goes hand in hand, no. Everything goes hand in hand. If I am not honest with the science, I mean, it's a problem of, sir said, ethics, values. That's everywhere. So it's not question of, again I'm saying, it's not question of 45%. It's again how they have been nurtured. And we can definitely change them. I have seen so many students changing.
So I think looking to so many questions, there is a demand for faculty development program which sir can plan out soon. And I think we can end here because there is one more session which is left yet.
सबमिशन थोड़ा जो हमने हमारे सारे टीचर आपको भी बोलना है एकदम दे देंगे नहीं आप अपना सजेशन दे सकते हैं लेकिन जैन साहब को क्या उसका आंसर देना है नहीं देना है वो उसकी फ्रीडम पर छोड़ना चाहिए क्योंकि आई वॉज इन मेनी कमिटी इन द नेशनल लेवल इन द नेक EICT UGC और हम हर जगह पर जाते हैं लोग पूछते हैं आपकी तरह ही पूछते हैं लेकिन सबका जवाब देना उसके परव्यू में है या नहीं है वो मैं नहीं जानता हूं तो आप इससे कोई फोर्स मत करिए ओनली आपकी क्वेरी है वो आप अवश्य कहें आप ऐसा प्रश्न मत पूछिए कि जो कमेटी में वो हैं वो कॉन्फिडेंशियल है तो वो आपको बता नहीं सकते तो आप वो भी थोड़ा ध्यान रखिए He is not a monitor and controlling. He is our expert today. तो आपकी क्वेरी है टीचिंग, रिसर्च, मेथोडोलॉजी, टीचिंग पेडागोगी, syllabus के up to some extent he can reply. जरूरी नहीं है कि कर सकता. मैं तो यही कह रहा हूं कि आप लोग जो 6 कॉलेज वाले हैं यहां बैठे हैं, मैं तो कहूं कि पहले तो फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम का करें, टीचिंग मेथोडोलॉजी में कैसे हम पढ़ाए कि बच्चे हमारे इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स से पिड़ा रहा है कि हमें कहां नहीं मिला है, इसलिए हम होम्योपैथ में आ गया है. तो उसका माइंडसेट हाउ वी कैन चेंज एज ए टीचर, साहब ने कहा ने चेंज एजेंट कैसे बने, क्योंकि मैं तो सबसे ज्यादा काम ट्रेनिंग का ही कर रहा हूं, मैनेजमेंट का प्रोफेसर हूं, ट्रेन करना काम हमारा है. और वहां कंसेप्ट है ट्रेनी और ट्रेनर. और मैं मानता हूं कि मैनेजमेंट, मेडिकल साइंस ये केस बेस्ड टीचिंग पेडागोगी पर आधारित है. हम थ्योरी ऐसे ही पढ़ाते हैं, बोलते जाते हैं, ऑडियंस का ध्यान भी नहीं रखते हैं, तो रिसेप्टिविटी रेशियो इज वेरी लो. और एक सर्वे भी है भारत का कि पहला 15 मिनट क्लास में टीचर जाता है तो उसकी रिसेप्टिविटी क्या है, उसकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज क्या है, हाउ एंड अप टू व्हाट लेवल दे एक्वायर्ड नॉलेज. स्टडी बता रही है कि 90% पीपल आर रेडी टू एक्वायर ए न्यू नॉलेज इन द फर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द सेशन. लेकिन 15 मिनट के बाद बच्चों जान जाता है कि ये साहब जो आए हैं आज हमारे यहाँ, ये कुछ नया देने वाला है नहीं, ऐसे पुरानी कहानी कह रहे हैं. तो कई बच्चे हमारे जो हैं 50-60% रिमेनिंग, वो सो नहीं जाते हैं. इसमें स्मार्ट बच्चे होते हैं, टीचर से स्मार्ट होते हैं आज के बच्चे, तो वो उसको कर देते हैं ठीक है बेचारा बोलता है बोलने दो, वो ऐसे. तब रिसेप्टिविटी रेशियो इज वेरी क्लोज टू 40%. और लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ द सेशन कुछ भी नहीं करते हैं तो अच्छे बच्चे होते हैं, वो भी करते हैं छोड़ो यार समय देखो 1:30 हो गया है, 2 बजे निकलना है, अभी भी कील करना है 30 मिनट्स. तो वो देखता है बार बार. आप देखिए कभी टीचर को ऑब्जर्व करना चाहिए क्लासरूम में लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ द सेशन कि बच्चे क्या कर रहे हैं. बच्चे बार बार देखता है घड़ियाल, तो सुनना कि आपका टॉक का कोई मतलब नहीं है, आप ऐसे ही फिजिकल उसके ऊपर फोर्स कर रहे हैं. और कई बच्चे को आप पूछ भी लेते, स्मार्ट टीचर होते हैं ना, पूछते हाँ आर यू अंडरस्टैंड, बच्चे भी कहें यस सर. वो फिनोमेना से कैसे बाहर निकाले उसके लिए विचार करें. और लास्ट पार्ट में तो 10% लोग ही आपको सुन रहे हैं, बाकी सुन भी नहीं रहे. एक्वायर्ड नॉलेज का तो सवाल ही नहीं है, सुन कौन रहा है उसके बारे में आप सर्च करिए. 10% लोग ही बैठे हैं, बाकी. और कई बहुत बड़ा क्लास है गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज का, वहां तो क्या लास्ट बेंच से रॉकेट निकलता है, कहीं यूक्रेन में जाकर पढ़ता है. और जब टीचर ऐसे जाता है इधर, तब कई क्लास में क्या क्या एक्टिविटी होती है उसके बारे में तो आपको वीडियोग्राफी करनी पड़ेगी. ये स्थिति हायर एजुकेशन की है. उसको सुधारने के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं, ये बात हमारे लिए वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. एक तो मैं कह रहा हूं टीचिंग मेथोडोलॉजी उसको चेंज करो. ओनली वी हैव अ फैशन एंड हैबिट, ओनली वी पीपल they deliver the talk and content to the students without understanding the feeling of the audience. उसको हम समझते ही नहीं है कि वो बेचारे क्या कर रहे हैं. और हमारे अपने बच्चे इतने अच्छे हैं, भले 45% वाले हैं भी, लेकिन इतने अच्छे हैं कि वो टीचर का आज भी आदर नहीं छोड़ते हैं. उसको मालूम भी है कि ये कोई नई बात कह नहीं रहे हैं, ऐसे ही पास कर रहे हैं समय, फिर भी वो बेचारे कहते हैं, ऐसे ही बैठते हैं. जब तक वो सुधार नहीं होगा तब टीचर रेडी नहीं होंगे. और मैं तो ये कहता हूं हर दिन टीचर को बहुत पढ़ना चाहिए. जब टीचर नई बात, नई केसेस, वर्ल्ड में क्या हो रहा है उसके बारे में उसको कुछ मालूम ही नहीं है, वो क्लास में जाकर उठकर सीधा चला जाता है. अब उसके लिए भी एक ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम रखना चाहिए कि what is your body language in the classroom, what you interact in the 180 degree, 360 degree, how you personalize, how you create a eye contact, and what way you create a receptivity to your student and teacher, वो होना, उसका इंट्रैक्शन कैसे करे। अब देखो कि कभी कभी एक टीचर है तो यही देखते हैं, विशाल कोई देखते देखते ही पढ़ा लेते हैं। अरे भाई क्लास में बाकी लोग भी बैठे हैं, आप उसको भी देखिए। ये सारी छोटी छोटी बातें हैं, लेकिन ये क्लासरूम के लिए रिसेप्टिविटी रेशियो के लिए आप थोड़ा चेंज कर दीजिए, आपकी रिसेप्टिविटी ये 30-40% ऐसे ही बढ़ जाएगी। फिर कंटेंट ऐड करिए, फिर लाइव एग्जाम्पल ऐड करिए। हम क्या करते हैं, थ्योरी पढ़ाते हैं, लाइव एग्जाम्पल देते ही नहीं है। ये हमारी ये सारी गलत। कई लोग तो बहुत बड़े प्रोफेसर होते हैं, सीनियर प्रोफेसर होते हैं, तो उसको सब कुछ आता है, तो वो विभावना से भी बाहर निकले। दुनिया एकदम झड़प से बदल रही है। आज मैं यहां बोल रहा हूं, कोई नया एड हो रहा है, वो मुझे भी मालूम नहीं है। अब बच्चे को आप थोड़ा जितना मुक्त हो इतना उसको फ्रीडम दीजिए, वो इंटरेक्ट करे क्लास में। 90% वो बच्चे बातें करे आपसे। IIM में मैं पढ़ा हूं 2000 से 1 से फेलोशिप वहां से किया है। हमें 10% हमारे टीचर बोलते थे। टीचर बोलते ही नहीं, वो तो ट्रेनर कहते हैं। ट्रेनी और ट्रेनर का कंसेप्ट वहां है, वो करते हैं। और ये जो उसकी बॉडी है वो 360 डिग्री में मूव होती है, और स्टूडेंट की भी सीट होती है, ऐसे नहीं होती, सी टाइप के क्लास होती है, और 360 डिग्री पर वो सीट मूव हो रही है। तो वो आपके साथ भी इंटरेक्ट करे, उसके साथ भी करे, और वो कंफर्ट फिजिबल, ये कंफर्ट उसका होता है। हमारी तो क्लासरूम की इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की व्यवस्था इतनी बेडोल है कि हम जाते तो मैं तो अथड़ा जाता हूं, 6 फुट का हूं, तो कभी कभी कहीं लग जाता है, अरे कंफर्टेबल नहीं है। तो पहला तो मेरा काम है कि ये 6 मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट वाले हैं, वो क्रिएट ए जेन्युइन एनवायरनमेंट, उसको कहते हैं आप जो मोटिवेशनल फोर्स होता है ना, पहला तो क्रिएट ए जेन्युइन एनवायरनमेंट फॉर ए कॉलेज, वो होना चाहिए। वो क्या होना चाहिए, वो मोटिवेट नहीं करता है टीचर और स्टूडेंट को, कंफर्ट फील कराता है। अभी एक क्लास में हूं तो मैं ये इतना ही कर सकता हूं, तो कंफर्ट फील करे पहला, बाद में उसने मोटिवेशनल फोर्स आप दीजिए, टीचर को भी दीजिए, स्टूडेंट को भी दीजिए। और मैं कह रहा हूं कि 10-10 रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट, एक चैलेंज तो आज ले लीजिए। आज जो हमारे सैमुअल हैनेमन की जो निर्वाण दिन है, आप और हम पहली बार, ये भारत की 1000 यूनिवर्सिटी में पहली यूनिवर्सिटी है। आप कह रहे हैं मुझे मालूम नहीं है, सो आई एम नॉट क्लेम टू एनीबडी, लेकिन ये हो रहा है। तो आज एक संकल्प ले लीजिए कि हमारी कॉलेज 10 रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट, छोटे छोटे, मैं कह नहीं बड़ा करे, कोई IIM जैसा बड़ा कर दे, ऐसी बात नहीं करता, नेचर जर्नल में आपका पब्लिश हो जाए, ये भी बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, लेकिन 10 रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट, एक साल में 60 प्रोजेक्ट हो जाएगा। टीचर का बैकग्राउंड भी कितना स्ट्रांग बन जाएगा, क्योंकि कॉम्बिनेशन में होता है। और ये सारे ठीक से जहां पब्लिश हो जाए, स्कोपस जर्नल में, ऐसे जर्नल में, आपके फील्ड की जर्नल में पब्लिश हो जाए, और हम इसके लिए एक कंपटीशन भी रखेंगे। मान लो आप सब रेडी होंगे तो यूनिवर्सिटी फैकल्टी ऑफ होम्योपैथ विल डिसाइड टू फाइंड आउट द 3 बेस्ट रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट, और उसका सम्मान हो, उसको रिकॉग्नाइज हो, और उसके लिए कोई ऐसा प्रोग्राम जब दूसरे वर्ष आएगा तब उसको रिकॉग्नाइज करके कुछ यूनिवर्सिटी भी करने के लिए रेडी हैं। लेकिन आप लोग भी, आप ऐसा है ना कि जो आदमी करना चाहता है ना, उसमें 1 लाख विचार आते हैं। कुछ भी नहीं करना चाहते हैं, क्या कहते हैं, साल एकदम बकवास बातें हैं सारी, ये लोग सुधर नहीं पाएंगे, वो हताशा से एकदम भरपूर हैं। इसलिए मैंने मेरे टॉक में भी कहा और बार बार मैं कहता हूं, ऐसे लोगों से आप दूर रहिए। वो तो खत्म हो ही गया है, आपको खत्म करने की वो कोशिश कर रहा है, आप उससे दूर भागे। जो काम हर दिन कुछ को विचार आता है, अच्छा आदमी है, वो अपने अच्छा लगे बुरा लगे ये बात मैं तो उसको बहुत ये नहीं करता हूं, लेकिन जो आदमी कहता है ना साहब के सामने, वो आदमी का स्वीकार जल्दी जल्दी करिए। ये मैं नहीं कह रहा, ये चाणक्य का जो नीति शास्त्र है ये सब कह रहे हैं, आप उसको पढ़िए थोड़ा। अपने एक लेक्चर में भी ऐड करिए, रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट बनाइए, है ना। मैंने भी वाइस चांसलर था तो भी मेजर रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट यूजीसी का मैंने ही कंप्लीट किया 2018 में, और उसका नाम था फाइनेंशियल सेनानिगन्स। आप पढ़ेंगे तो फाइनेंशियल का तो मीनिंग काट देंगे, लेकिन सेनानिगन्स का मीनिंग नहीं काट देंगे। आपको जाना पड़ेगा विकिपीडिया में, कहीं कहीं और इंटरनेट में डालना पड़ेगा, और वो उसका मीनिंग है अनआइडेंटिफाइड फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड। ये देश में अनआइडेंटिफाइड फाइनेंशियल जो फ्रॉड हो रहा है, ये माल्या जी, नीरव जी, अभी कोई बड़ बंधु आए, मेहुल जी, कितने आए केतन पार्क से लेकर आज तक, वो तो आइडेंटिफाइड फ्रॉड हैं। ये देश में अनआइडेंटिफाइड फ्रॉड भी चल रहा है, वो पैरेलल चल रहा है, उसको फाइनेंशियल टर्मिनोलॉजी में फाइनेंशियल सेनानिगन्स कहते हैं। तो ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट लोग को समझने में दिक्कत आनी चाहिए। आप ऐसे क्यों प्रोजेक्ट लेते हैं? आईआईएम में हम पढ़ रहे थे तो कह रहे थे हमें ब्रांडिंग, हाउ यू ब्रांड योर ओन प्रोडक्ट। तो उसका पहला है कि जब मैं पढ़ रहा था तब मैनेजमेंट में 200 रुपया का लेक्चर चलता था, दूसरे क्लास में 60 रुपया चलता, किसमें 100 का चलता था, पीजी में हमें 200 ले रहे थे। तो उसने पहला कहा कि पहली ब्रांड आप कैसे बनाए हैं, तो उसने सिखाया हमें। तो मैंने पहली बार जब वहां से निकला तो कोई लोग कहें कि आईआईएम में पढ़ के आया है तो अब लेक्चर लेने के लिए आ जाओ, तो हम लेक्चर लेने जाते थे। तो गुरु का आदेश था कि ब्रांड को मैनेज करने के लिए यू हैव टू चार्ज लॉट। मैंने कहा 5,000 लूंगा। अब देखिए कहां 200 रुपया और कहां 5,000। आने जाने की कार लूंगा, खाना पीना लूंगा, सब आपका, मैं लेक्चर ले जाऊंगा। नहीं मिले तो नहीं मिले, लेकिन ब्रांड को नीचे अंडर एस्टिमेट मत करिए आप। मैं आप सबको यही सीख देता हूं कि ट्रेनिंग डेवलपमेंट की बात यही होती है। आप अपनी जात को अंडर एस्टिमेट करते हैं, अंडर यूटिलाइज करते हैं, फिर कंप्लाइन करते हैं। किसको? सिस्टम खराब है। आप देखिए कि मैं आपको ये जो बोल रहा हूं ये सब मैं करके आकर बोल रहा हूं। मैंने वो टाइम में एक बुक लिखी थी 2000 में, केसेस इन मैनेजमेंट। पहले सारे केसेस हार्वर्ड से आ रही थी। मैंने ये भारत में कोई ऐसा जन्म ही नहीं लिया है कि वो अपना केस नहीं लिख सकता है। हमें हार्वर्ड का केस क्यों पढ़े भाई? क्योंकि हमारे बच्चे जो है कोई हार्वर्ड तो जाने वाले नहीं है, वो तो देश की सेवा करने वाले, तो देश के केस होना चाहिए। तो हमने पहली बार थोड़ी 30 केस बना के मैंने लिखा 2001 में, और उसकी रॉयल्टी हमने 10 लाख कमाई। फिर 10 बुक निकाली, हर एक की 10-10 लाख कमाई। 10 से ज्यादा होगा, आपको ज्यादा कहने की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन मार्केट में हर बार हमारी बुक चल रही है। अभी भी ये बैड बैंक थियरी मैंने लिखी, हिमालय पब्लिकेशन की है, अभी 2002 अमेजोन में भी ऑनलाइन है $44 की। आप उसको पढ़िए, आपने कभी देखा ही नहीं है बैड बैंक थ्योरी। आप नाम लिखिए, इंटरनेट में डालिए, नहीं देखा होगा। तो हम तो काम ही ऐसा करते, लोग नहीं करते हैं। वही काम हम करेंगे। आपको भी यही कह रहा हूं कि क्लासरूम में जाइए, लोग जो कर रहे हैं आप थोड़ा डिफरेंट बनिए, है ना। आप भोग प्रमाद में इतना मत पड़िए। मानव शरीर मिला है, उसका सदुपयोग ठीक से करें। बस यही मेरी आप सबको, क्योंकि साहब हैं, रजिस्ट्रार साहब आए नहीं हैं, हम एसएस करते हैं तो भी लीटा करते हैं। अब लीटा प्रकरण से बाहर निकल जाए, बच्चे की जिंदगी का सवाल है। वो हमारे रजिस्ट्रार बोलने वाले थे, लेकिन वो उसको थोड़ा काम आ गया, वो चले गए हैं। उसने मुझे संदेश दिया है कि आप बोल दीजिए। हम आपको 2 हाथ जोड़कर विनती करते हैं कि हमारे बच्चे पढ़ते हैं, उसको क्या नहीं आता वो मत देखिए, उसको जितना आता है, लिखता है, वो देख लीजिए। आप उसको फेल करने की तैयारी में मत देखिए, आप उसका थोड़ा ध्यान रखिए। और मैं भी, आप जब ध्यान रखते हैं तो मैं प्रिंसिपल उसको कहता हूं कि हमारे कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं, मैं कहता हूं आप दया भाव ज्यादा रखिए। ये हमारा आदिवासी सत्र है, पहला जनरेशन यहां पढ़ रहा है, उसके कंपेयर आप अहमदाबाद की बात मत करिए, मुंबई के साथ मत करिए। वी आर डिफरेंट एंड वी आर ऑल्सो यूनिक। तो वो हम अलग हैं, हमारा मानवता है, करुणा है, संवेदना है। अहमदाबाद के बच्चे में ये नहीं मिलेगा आपको। वहां दूसरा मिलेगा। क्या मिलेगा मैं आपको कहना नहीं चाहता, आप जानते हैं। वो वहां है, वहां भोग और प्रमाद है, यहां योग है। योग के दूसरे के कल्याण के लिए अपना विचार करना, दूसरे के लिए कुछ करना, कुछ भी है, कोई भी समाज का है, धर्म का है, उसको छोड़कर गांव वाला कुछ करता है, शहर वाला थोड़ा कम। एक्सेप्शनल केस दोनों में है। फिर ये थ्योरी नहीं है, आप उसको थ्योरी की तरफ मत लीजिए। दोनों साइड एक्सेप्शनल केसेस आर देयर। शहर में भी कोई लोग ऐसे भी निकलेंगे बहुत अच्छे होते हैं, और गांव में हम कितने भी अच्छे कहते हैं तो बुरे भी निकलते। उस सिद्धांत की मर्यादा है, उसको कहते हैं एक्सेप्शनल केसेस आर देयर। तो आप कहे कि 10-10 प्रोजेक्ट ले लीजिए, फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम के लिए कुछ करे, टीचर को कैसे ट्रेन करे, कैसे क्लासरूम में पढ़ाए जाए, कैसे खड़े रहें, कैसे 360 डिग्री में उसको कनेक्ट करे। मैं भी कनेक्ट करता हूं, यहां भी थोड़ा देखता हूं, घड़ी उसको भी देखता हूं, घड़ी ये मैडम को भी देखता हूं। क्यों? वो चले ना जाए इधर उधर। उसको बार में ये ध्यान रखे कि साहब थोड़ी थोड़ी देर में हमारे यहां आते हैं तो वो माइंड को कहीं बाहर जाने नहीं देते। जाने नहीं देते तो पर्सनलाइज ज्यादा होते हैं। आई कांटेक्ट का यही सवाल है ना। तो आप सब ये सारी टेक्निक, टेक्नोलॉजी, ह्यूमन टेक्नोलॉजी और ये सारी आईटी का जो यूज है वो भी करें। मैं तो कभी पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन का तभी उपयोग करता हूं जब मुझे 15 मिनट में बहुत सारी बातें कह देनी है। अदरवाइज मैं जनरली यही बात करता हूं। आपने कभी नहीं देखा है कि कॉन्वोकेशन में पढ़ता हूं। अदरवाइज वाइस चांसलर क्या करता है, आप सारे देश के वाइस चांसलर देख लीजिए, एक्सेप्शनल केसेस हमारे जैसे थोड़े होंगे, लेकिन ज्यादा से ज्यादा वो एकदम पैकेट लेके आते हैं, वर्ड टू वर्ड पढ़ते हैं और 30 मिनट बोलते हैं, लेकिन नया कुछ नहीं बोलता है। किसी ने लिख दिया है वही बोल देता है। अपना विचार प्रैक्टिकली क्या हो सकता है इसके बारे में विचार करना चाहिए। हम अच्छी बातें तो बहुत होते हैं कि सुबह में 4 बजे उठ जाना है, उठ नहीं सकते हैं तो वही पे स्वीकार कर लीजिए ना। तो ऐसे बातें हैं जो आज वास्तव में हो सकती हैं, उसके बारे में विचार करिए। मैंने कई बातें आपको थोड़ा समय लेकर बात कर दी, बीच में डिस्टर्ब किया इसलिए कि ये सारे टीचर बैठे हैं आज, तो टीचर को ज्यादा ज्ञान तो देना नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन जो बातें छोटी छोटी हमारे जीवन में हैं उसको जो सुधार कर ले तो ये विस्तार का कल्याण होगा। और आज जैन साहब आए हैं तो उसने कई बातें हमें बताई हैं, वो बातें का कैसे करें, क्योंकि वो सहमत भी नहीं है। ये बात भी सही है। मैंने भी गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज में पढ़ा था और आईआईएम तक पढ़ा हूं। आईआईएम में तो सारे आईआईटीएन आते हैं, उसके लिए कुछ करे ना करे तो भी वो ऐसे ही होशियार है। ये बात सही है, लेकिन चैलेंज तो हमारे यहाँ है कि हम 45 को आगे बढ़ाकर आईएएस आईपीएस बना देते हैं, तो ये बड़ी उपलब्धि हमारी है, नहीं कि वो आईआईटीएन और आईआईएम्स की है। वो आपको भी समझना, हमें गौरव लेना चाहिए कि हमारे यहाँ बच्चा आता है, गांव का छोटा छोटा बच्चा आता है, उसको अंग्रेजी का थोड़े स्पेलिंग भी नहीं आते हैं, बाहर निकल कर मार्केट में ये करते हैं। और साहब की ये बात भी सही है कि बहुत गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट और यूनिवर्सिटी टॉपर होते प्रैक्टिस में फेल जाते हैं। अब बहुत बड़ा डॉक्टर बन गया, बहुत बड़ा पढ़ा है, लेकिन जो उसकी क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस ठीक नहीं है उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है। प्रैक्टिस करिए, है ना। सो आपने आज सारा पूरा मैंने कहा कि समय लेना है, तो अभी देखिए आप कितना समय हो गया है, 2 बजे की नजदीक में पहुंच गया हूं। अब थोड़ा 10-15 मिनट साहब ने कहा कि साहब को कुछ पूछना है, पूछिए, लेकिन ऐसा कि वो कह सके। हाँ, आप कॉन्फिडेंशियल एग्जाम में क्या पूछने वाले हैं ये बातें मत करिए, है ना। ऐसे उसकी स्थिति मत लाइए। थैंक यू।
Thank you, VC sir, for such an inspirational guideline.
जुबेर सर અને પેલા મેડમે જે મેનેજમેન્ટ વાળી વાત એના પર થોડું કંઈક કોમેન્ટ કરીશ. સર સેશન નથી.
Because one thing which we did not discuss today is an internship. Probably we need to streamline the internship program. So we have 1 year internship program. In that, each student has to do a project, has to submit, and without that project, internship never completes. So it's not question of 10 research project each year. It is the number of students who clears the exam and completes the internship. That many projects are there with the university. Now, how much innovation, how much originality, how much authenticity, and the quality of material is the responsibility of the guide of that student and the college. So there is no dearth of projects. It is compulsory. So I think we also need to streamline our internship training program and train our students in a basics of research methodology, because you cannot do project without knowing the basics of research methodology. And all those projects, if done with the honesty, will be a project to publish. I mean, it is also possible with so many colleges, with so many projects. I mean, university can come up with one of the e-journal in homeopathy. Why not? I mean, it's not a very difficult job. With the resources you have at your disposal, I mean, every 3 quarterly, with so many students project and the PhD, it's possible to publish, provided the things are ready. So streamlining internship program and, taking up mentorship of those students to take up projects in their important areas, submitting it, scientifically validating it, and then publications will go a long way again to produce the future researcher. Sorry, sir.
થેન્ક યુ સર. કોઈ દેશ સમાજ એની જે પણ આજે પરિસ્થિતિ હોય એના માટે જવાબદાર શિક્ષક જ હોય. એ હોમિયોપેથી માટે પણ સાચું છે. એટલે આજે જે પણ સરે વાત કરી, વોટ ઇઝ ધ પ્રેઝન્ટ સિનેરિયો ઇન ધ હોમિયોપેથિક એજ્યુકેશન ઓર ઇન હોમિયોપેથ્સ, દેટ ઇઝ ડ્યુ ટુ અસ. એ તો આપણે સ્વીકારવું જ પડશે, આપણા કારણે છે. નાઉ વોટ નેક્સ્ટ? હવે શું કરવું છે? ઇફ રિયલી વોન્ટ ટુ ચેન્જ, મતલબ સુધારવું છે, તો આપણે પહેલાં સુધારવું પડશે. એના માટે સાહેબે કીધું કે એટલીસ્ટ આપણી યુનિવર્સિટીની એફિલિએટેડ કોલેજ તો એવું કંઈક કરે શરૂઆત, અને વીસી સાહેબ એના માટે તૈયાર છે. ફેકલ્ટી ડેવલપમેન્ટ, સીએમએ જે પણ કરવું હોય. વોટ આઈ ઓબ્ઝર્વ એઝ એ ટીચર, હું વાત કરી રહ્યો છું. સિન્સ લાસ્ટ 22 years આઈ એમ ઓલ્સો ટીચિંગ. થોડા સમયથી મેનેજમેન્ટનો પણ રોલ કરી રહ્યો છું. બટ વોટ આઈ ઓબ્ઝર્વ, મેં ટીચરમાં હોમિયોપેથીમાં જોયું કે પેરેલલી આઈ એમ રનિંગ આયુર્વેદ કોલેજ ઓલ્સો. ત્યાંની પણ ફેકલ્ટીના હું કોન્ટેક્ટમાં છું. આઈ નો ધ સાયકોલોજી એ લોકોની. મેં જોયું છે હોમિયોપેથીમાં બધાને પર્સનલ ક્લિનિક, પર્સનલ પ્રેક્ટિસ ડેવલપ કરવામાં વધારે ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ છે, રાધર દેન ડેવલપિંગ ધ ઓપીડી ઓફ કોલેજ હોસ્પિટલ. એન્ડ ધીસ ઇઝ અ રીઝન. એટલે આપણી બધી જ કોલેજની હોસ્પિટલની ઓપીડી કહીએ ને તો આમ ઓલમોસ્ટ 0 થી 10 કદાચ કહી શકીએ, બરાબર. ભલે સીસી આજે 200-250 કીધી છે, પણ પ્રેક્ટિકલી કોઈને ત્યાં નથી. આ એક મોટું રીઝન છે. એટલા માટે પેશન્ટ નથી, એટલે ક્લિનિકલ રિસર્ચ પણ નથી. અધરવાઇઝ સાહેબે ક્લિનિકલ રિસર્ચની વાત કરી અજયભાઈએ. સાહેબ, એક હોમિયોપેથી એક કેસ જોવે ને એટલે ક્લિનિકલ રિસર્ચ જ છે. આપણા માટે એક કેસ, ઈચ એન્ડ એવરી કેસ ઇઝ અ કેસ ઓફ ક્લિનિકલ રિસર્ચ. બિકોઝ આપણે ઇન્ડિવિજ્યુઅલાઇઝેશનમાં જઈ રહ્યા છે. કોઈ સરખું નથી. તાવ આવે એટલે પેરાસિટામોલ આપી દીધી. આપણે તો દરેકે દરેક કેસ અલગ જ છે. સો ફોર અસ, તમે એક કોલેજમાં ઓપીડીમાં 4 ઓપીડી હોય છે, 4 કન્સલ્ટન્ટ બેઠા હોય, એ જે પણ કેસ જોઈએ છે બધા ક્લિનિકલ રિસર્ચ છે. અમે રોજના 200 ક્લિનિકલ રિસર્ચ એક કોલેજ કરી શકે છે, આમ જોવા જઈએ તો. સો એ ખરેખર કરવું પડશે. બિકોઝ કેમ કર્યું છે, મેં પેરેલલી આયુર્વેદામાં જોયું છે. નડિયાદની કોલેજ તમને ખબર હશે, ડૉક્ટર ગુપ્તા. એમને પોતાની પ્રાઇવેટ પ્રેક્ટિસ નથી, એમના નામથી પેશન્ટ ત્યાં જાય. મારે ગુપ્તા સાહેબને બતાવું છે. ઇન્ટરનેશનલ પેશન્ટ એમના ત્યાં આવે છે, કોલેજ સાથે એટેચ છે. હવે હોમિયોપેથીમાં મને ખબર નથી એવું કોઈ મોટું નામ કે જેના નામથી જતા હોય. તો નંબર 1 કદાચ આપણે આ કડવું સત્ય છે, આ સ્વીકારવું પડશે કે કોલેજની ઓપીડી ડેવલપ કરવામાં તમે ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ થોડો રાખો. પોતાની તો રાખો, પણ મેં જોયું છે ઘણા કોલેજમાં આવતા દર્દીને પોતાના ક્લિનિકમાં બોલેલા, તું ત્યાં આવી જશે ને સાંજે, તો પેશન્ટ તો જાય છે. પેશન્ટને તો સારું થવું છે, બટ અલ્ટિમેટલી લોસ કોને થાય છે? ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટના સ્ટુડન્ટને લોસ થાય છે. એટલે આ એક કડવું સત્ય છે. આ કદાચ ચેન્જ થાય એના માટે એ મેનેજમેન્ટ લેવલની વાત છે. સાહેબે કીધી એ પ્રમાણે બધા મેનેજમેન્ટે તૈયારી, ઘણા પ્રશ્ન હશે કે ભાઈ સેલરી આ તે વોટ એવર, એ સાથે ડિસ્કસ કરીને કરવું જોઈએ. પણ મહેરબાની કરીને તમારો ટાઈમ, એટલે ડેડિકેશન જે છે, ક્લિનિકલ ડેડિકેશન, એ આપણા હોમિયોપેથીમાં મેં જોયું બહુ ઓછું હોય છે. પીજી જે કમ્પ્લીટ કરે છે સ્ટુડન્ટ, તે મોટાભાગના મેં જોયું આયુર્વેદામાં પીજીનું રિઝલ્ટ આવવાનું પહેલાં અમારો કોન્ટેક્ટ કરે કે સર મારું પીજી કમ્પ્લીટ થવાનું છે, આઈ વોન્ટ ટુ જોઈન. હોમિયોપેથીમાં બહુ ઓછું દેખવા મળે છે. આપણે સામેથી અમારે તો ફેકલ્ટી એટલે કોન્ટેક્ટ કરવો પડે, તું પ્રેક્ટિસ કરે છે, આવી જા કોલેજમાં થોડું સારું રહેશે, એમ કરીને મોટિવેટ કરવા પડે છે. એટલે ડેડિકેટેડ ટીચર્સ આપણે ડેવલપ કરવાની વધારે જરૂર છે હોમિયોપેથીમાં, જો હોમિયોપેથીને ખરેખર આગળ લઈ જવું હોય તો. આ એક બીટર ટ્રુથ મને એવું લાગ્યું કે આ કહેવા જેવું છે. તો કદાચ આ કરશો તો ક્લિનિકલ કેસીસ વધશે, હોસ્પિટલ લેવલે, કોલેજ લેવલે, અને સ્ટુડન્ટને ભણવા મળશે અને પછી બધું સારું થશે. થેન્ક યુ.
I hope there are no more questions.
Thank you, Bipin sir, for such an informative session. Now I would like to request Dr. Vishal Soni sir to felicitate Dr. Bipin Jain sir by presenting the memento.
May I request Dr. Tejas to please felicitate Dr. Soni sir, please. Dr. Ajay Soni sir, EC member, SGGU. So I think it was a very, very energetic session, and it has created many questions for ourselves, for our students. This is the beginning and not an end. We should continue with all these questions and we should work together. I think we have a big family. If we all can work together, we can definitely achieve what our university would also like to achieve. So thank you, Dr. Bipin, for stimulating all the teachers to think about what is to be done. In brief, about assessment, I think our respected Vice Chancellor sir have already briefed. He has given a direct hint that what care should be taken by all of us. So that also is well taken. So here we are coming to an end of the session, and I will take this opportunity again to thank our university, Shri Govind Guru University, a big round of applause for organizing such a wonderful event. That also for teachers, because we always think that students need to learn, but most important is that we teachers need to learn so that we can teach our students better. So the theme was wonderful. I don't think anything better we can do on the reverence to Dr. Hahnemann. So thank you, university, thank you all the syndicate members, all trustees, all principals, all management committees, and most importantly, all our colleagues and staff because of whom this session is possible. So we all should again applaud for ourselves, and we can end our session here. If I have forgotten anyone, thanks to all who has contributed to this event. Thanks for a wonderful prayer, and all media team, all audio team, everyone who is responsible for the smooth functioning of today's session. Thank you very much. We can proceed for lunch.
Before proceed for lunch, I will request VC sir to, because this is a lifetime memory, so બધા કોલેજની જે ફેકલ્ટી છે, VC sir, syndicate member અને બિપિન sir બેસે, will have one photograph. બારાફળથી હરેક કોલેજ. Thank you. જો છે
all.
અરે પેલો ફોટોગ્રાફ એક મિનિટ સર આ ફોટોગ્રાફ કરો
એનાઉન્સ કર લોકો બહાર જાય છે
થેન્ક યુ
લેવાનું છે ઝીરો ડિફેક્ટ એવરીથિંગ ઇન ઝીરો ડિફેક્ટ રોજ જાપાનીઝ બનશું
ચાલો ચાલો ઝડપથી
આવી જાઓ એમ કે છે
પીએચડી સ્કોલર એમ કે છે આછા તો પેલામાં છે પીએચડી સ્કોલર ઓનલી સ્ટાફ મજા આવે તો કહાં જાને કા
રેડી તમે તો રેડી બોલો
તમે રેડી બોલો તો જ થશે બધા
હા કઈક નાનું મોટું બસ
થેન્ક યુ
ઓલું ચાલુ છે તમે આ બાજુથી આ કરી લો